Broken Arrow Public Schools founding, our schoolhouses have taken on many shapes, sizes, and locations around our beautiful city. The bricks and beams of those facilities makes them schoolhouses, but it's not what makes Broken Arrow home. A home is made of hopes and dreams. It's because of you, your hopes and your dreams, and your ability to make the hopes and dreams of our students come true. That's why BA is home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home. Take me higher and where it's brighter, above the clouds up in the air. Show me mountains, the bluest fountains. I lose my breath and only stare, but it don't matter where I go. Ooh, there's no place like home. Ooh, there's no place like home. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like
Because of you, there is no other place I'd rather call home. And always remember, the best is yet to come.
Ooh, there's no place like home. Ooh, there's no place like home.
Hey Tiger football fans, I'm Madison Dildine and we're here at Tiger Memorial Stadium about to go 100 yards with head coach Josh Blankenship. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Coach, you're now starting your second season at BA. Last season ended with a 5-game win streak, pulling off the upset against Owasso before falling to Union in the semifinals. What can fans expect out of year 2?
Hopefully continued momentum. You know, we feel that way about our off season. You know, it was enough exciting things that happened last year to really speed up the trust in our culture. And you know, when you kind of develop that trust, then you can really elevate the things that you're wanting to do. And so we saw a really good off season. A lot of guys developed. So you're gonna see a lot of new faces, but hopefully we continue where we left off.
Last week you played a half-game scrimmage at Bixby against Muskogee. Talk to me a little bit about your defense's performance as well as some guys that stood out to you on offense.
Defense was really impressive in the sense that we're not trying to show everything that we have right now. It was mainly making sure we were executing our basic stuff, you know, not really trying to scheme up that opponent. And Muskogee was a great test for us, and I told our guys that they would be. Very athletic, very talented group. They don't have the depth and the numbers that we have, so maybe a 4-quarter game, you know, we probably would have separated. But 2 quarters was an awesome test for us, and I was really pleased with our defensive guys.
You talk a lot about leadership. How do you get your guys to buy into the culture that you and your staff are building?
You know, that just takes time. You know, it's like I mentioned, trust. Trust is so critical, and if our staff and our guys are consistent in our messaging and our love for these guys, that trust, you know, expands. And when you have that, then you're able to elevate some of your leaders, give them more authority, empower them, lean on them more, so you know what's going on behind the scenes, and then they can also be a voice for what you're trying to emphasize with the whole group.
On that note, who have you seen leadership from so far?
Dietrich Moore, you would hope, you know, with the type of player that he is, you know, he needs to have a voice on the team. He's certainly earned that and done a great job there. Jalen Franklin, one of our corners, Austin Newell, Josh Wilhite, Briley Ferguson. I mean, and I could go on and on and on. Younger guys, Donovan Hardaway's a junior. He's going to be a great captain for us next year. So we've really seen leadership develop.
Friday night, you'll kick off the season at Bentonville High School. Yep. What can we expect to see?
We're very familiar with those guys. You know, we've seen them in team camps. So they're a lot like us. They got some big boys and a lot of talent, and it'll be a great test for us.
Last but not least, how was your summer?
Busy. Did we have a summer? No, it was great. We fit in some good vacation and some time with the family, and then also we were able to get a lot of work done with the team, so it was great.
That's good. That was 100 Yards with head coach Josh Blankenship. The Tigers kick off their season Friday night at Bentonville High School. Kickoff is set for 7 on ArrowVision.
Good Friday evening and welcome to Bentonville, Arkansas for a Tigers versus Tigers battle as the high school football season gets underway. I'm Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital. We are looking forward to bringing you Broken Arrow Tiger football tonight here on ArrowVision. It's year 3 with me and Spav up here in the booth. And Spav, this is probably the best weather we've had to start things off. It was hot in Texas last year. This is not too bad here this evening.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful night to play football, and especially with your first game of the year, because now the weather doesn't play a factor, because, you know, the first game you're going to make a lot of, you know, simple errors, you know, penalties, timing, communication, things of that nature. So it's really interesting to have a really nice weather day.
We've got Madison Dillon on the sideline. She's got the coin toss for us, so let's send it down there and take a listen in.
Knock the crap out of each other, but help each other up, okay? Be sporty. I don't want to hear any cussing here, all right? Just keep it out of the game, okay? We good? We agree with that? AOA is heads. That's heads. That's tails. The smallest tails, that's heads. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to catch it. And I'm going to catch it like this. Whatever it is, we'll go with that, okay? If I drop it, I'll reflip, okay? What do you want? Tails. He wants tails, okay? want the football?
Good.
Want to kick that way? All right, turn your backs this way. This way. Face each other this way.
All right, there you have it from Madison Dildine down on the sidelines. The pregame coin toss. Bentonville won the toss, Spav, and then the Tigers, of course, after Bentonville defers, will choose to take the football. I heard you say good. What do you like about that?
Well, I like to receive the football right off the bat, and I like the way they chose field position because that means the second quarter our offense is facing the scoreboard. And so I'm not quite sure of why they chose that side, but I'm sure there's a reason, obviously. But I like it because there's no wind. There's going to be a good time to iron out some things. Now, we're going to come out here with a brand-new quarterback, and he's a sophomore. Owen Jones is going to be a fabulous player for us, and I hope we keep the offense basically centered around what he's able to do, his strengths, and that's going to be the key. And I know that will happen because I know Coach Blankenship because he coached my son when he was a sophomore. And so he knows how to keep the offense under what he can do. And then each week he's going to grow. So he's going to be our leader, and I'm really anxious to see what he can do.
And not only do you have a younger player at quarterback, in the middle of a pretty experienced offensive line, you've got a young guy in the center position with Ricardo Fernandez, just a sophomore getting the start today. Mm-hmm. With that center spot specifically, how challenging is that for a younger player like a sophomore to step in and take the reins?
It's going to be tough. I mean, that's tough because, they have a really big defensive line, and a lot of things is it's very difficult to block things when you're young. When you got to snap, you got your hands between your legs, and then yet you got to block somebody. Very difficult, and the center's the one that basically moves the line in direction for pass protection, all that stuff. He's the key, and that young guy. We got two young guys, one keying on the offensive line and one keying the whole backfield with the quarterback.
He'll have some help with some fairly experienced guys around him. Jameson Mejia, Ross Martin, Chance Marek, and Reed Adams are all seniors. Chance Marek was actually the guy we heard speaking on behalf of Broken Arrow at the coin toss. Right. I had a chance to spend some time with him over the summer at Sports Media Camp. He wanted to dip his toes in the broadcasting waters a little bit.
That's good.
So that was fun to get to know him a little bit. Here come the Bentonville Tigers. It's a battle of Tigers here in Bentonville, Arkansas this evening. And the Tigers take the field coming out of the jungle, the indoor just to our left, which is north on this north-south facing football field. And as you can see, the Tigers, Broken Arrow Tigers, on the southeast corner, getting ready to come out of that traveling tunnel that those guys work so hard to haul to every away game.
Come out, that's for sure.
Good traveling contingency making the couple-hour drive over here to Bentonville. And here come the 2022 Broken Arrow Tigers. White jerseys, black pants, black helmets with what I think might be a newer logo. It's the BA logo with the state imprinted underneath it as well, the state of Oklahoma outline. So a good look for the Tigers on the road today as they will look to get this season off on the right foot. It was a road win in Texas last year, Spav, that started off the football season. Now Broken Arrow looking to pick up a road win in Arkansas to get this 2022 campaign underway.
And this is a pretty good football team.
Yep.
I mean, they're very good on offense. They're very suspect in the quarterback position. He's new, and by looking at film, he's got a long ways to go. But they got a huge line, great running backs, great receivers, so very much similar to what we have. And then when you look at their defensive aspect, they run downhill. They got a big defensive line. They're a 3-4 concept. They're not really great fitters in the run game, so that's going to be to our advantage. But their linebackers are very active, and the secondary is very good. They play a lot of zone, and they'll play some man, mix some man in there as well.
The Broken Arrow kick return team is out on the field. Caleb Barnett, who really has the attention of Coach Josh Blankenship. He says he's been a kind of lightning in a bottle in the preseason. Barnett back there to return, along with Alan Scarborough, who's going to be taking on a little bit of a bigger role this year. Or is that Caden Jones? I think it's Scarborough.
Yeah.
They're both standing at the 15-yard line, so not anticipating a particularly deep kick here. Oh, a little chicanery there from Bentonville running up to the football and deciding not to kick it. That'll get Broken Arrow's attention a bit.
Well, we got some players here that we can return this thing. I'm telling you, if they kick it to the right guys, we're going to return it.
Kick returns were among Broken Arrow's strength last year. Here is a good kick that will sail about 6 yards deep into the end zone. And Broken Arrow will have the football 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line to get things started here. 12 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter, and we do have a flag down already.
Yeah, unnecessary hit by us, I think. It was just unnecessary, but, that's what happens again these first games. You're keyed up, you're excited, you're ready to go, but you got to keep your emotions intact. That's the key to these games, because this is a very important game for both schools, even though this is a game that doesn't really count.
When it gets Bentonville, though.
Oh.
So that'll move the ball out to the 35.
Well, I just
wait, hold on. Nope, they marked it the wrong direction. Well, it's the first game for everybody.
Well, I anticipated us because they were on the ground, we were up.
Yeah. That's usually a good sign.
I'd like to give a shout out to the BA High School Alumni Association. They're having a watch party tonight at the Water's Edge in Broken Arrow there.
Ooh, very nice.
I tell you what, Derek Blackburn has started this. It's a great idea and a great concept, and hey, we welcome the BA High School alums listening in with Adam and myself.
Absolutely. Growing up in Broken Arrow, and I actually am not a Broken Arrow High School graduate, but growing up in Broken Arrow, basically all of my family friends growing up were, and so I have a lot of people who I know follow along with this football team, and Broken Arrow football has been big for a long time, but even more so in the last few years here. Shotgun set. Jones flips it out to the near side to Nate Jones. He's got a little space around the 15-yard line. Dumped out of bounds around the 18, running through a cheerleader in the process, but a nice little gain there on first down will bring up 2nd down and maybe a yard or two. And Spav, that's one thing we talked about a lot last year, first down efficiency. This offense got better and better throughout the year last year at first down efficiency.
Well, they like the edge pressure, and that was just a great call versus edge pressure.
Jones on the handoff this time. Not a lot of space, but he is across the 20-yard line, and he got the first down. He was hit about a yard deep in the backfield. That's a nice play to move the chains.
Well, they didn't allow us to cut back, and that was good on their part. See, their line is really big. Their defensive line is just super huge, and it's going to be a little difficult for us at times.
Pistol set this time. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Again, that is sophomore Owen Jones in the backfield. Good size for a sophomore, 6 foot, 200 pounds. A little motion left to right for Joshua Wilhite, an experienced tight end for the Tigers. Little dump pass near side to Jones again. Not a lot of room to work, cutting through a couple defenders, and he spins forward for a couple yards out to the 24-yard line. I'll tell you what, Nate Jones making something out of nothing a couple of times here early.
Well, you gotta take what they give us, and I like what Josh is doing. He's got a tight end off, so the tight end is not on the line of scrimmage. He's able to move and adjust, and it's very good concept what we're doing.
Oh, little reverse action. And that's Barnett out in space. Jukes him in. Ooh, good recovery for the open field tackle, but it's a first down for Broken Arrow. On the tackle that time was Christian Farrow, and he got juked to begin with, but made a nice recovery. Otherwise, that play was going a lot further.
Oh, that kick can run. I don't know if there's anybody that we have on our team that can cover him one-on-one.
Caleb Barnett,
he's that gifted.
Just a sophomore, but you saw how quick he is in space right there, and that's something the Tigers will be trying to do a lot. 2 tight ends, both right. 1st and 10.
The wide zone.
Stretch play doesn't go a whole lot far, but a couple of yards brings up 2nd down and 8. And Spav, we were talking about this before the game. Coach Blankenship told me earlier this week they felt like they established an identity towards the end of the year last year offensively, and they want to continue to build on that. And that outside zone like that played a big role.
Absolutely, and the back out of the backfield. Throwing the flares to Mario on Horn, and that was perfect.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, but he went from 11 personnel now 12 personnel.
Nice hole on the right side, and that's first down yardage across midfield.
That's right.
Down to the 48-yard line. On the tackle that time was Nick Stone.
Well, the linebackers come down so heavy right now, they're blocking themselves at times. That was getting caught in the blocking at the line of scrimmage.
That was Kyrie Harris with his first carry of the game, and it moves the chains for Broken Arrow. They're kind of a three-headed monster in the backfield for the Tigers this year. Now the quarterback keeper up the middle, and a new quarterback in the game. That's Cooper Bates getting his first snaps under center. We knew we would likely see both of those guys today, Spab. I didn't think we'd see them both on the first drive, however.
I know. Well, I tell you, we're in 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, 1 back, and they're in a 3-4. So we're inserting these tight ends in the run game, and they don't have enough people to stop it.
There's Barnett around the right side. Ooh, runs into a man and bowls him over for first down yardage to the right side. We've seen the quickness already of Caleb Barnett, and there we saw him not afraid to make contact.
No, our running backs are quick. Our running backs are good. I'm telling you, we can put 1,000 of them in there. They're good. But I'm telling you what, they're not sound. They're going to get behind. They're going to want to blitz off the edge.
4 receivers. It's Antonio Jones in the catch, slot left, trying to break out of a tackle. He nearly lost the football, but was able to fall on it. That's a loss of a yard back to the Bentonville 36-yard line. 8:45 to play first quarter. We're scoreless, but the Tigers have gone from their own 10-yard line after the opening kickoff all the way down to the Bentonville 36, where it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, and it looks like right now they're going to come with some pressure. Let's see what they do. They're mugging the linebackers right now. They're going to come with edge pressure. They love it.
Owen Jones back in the game. Handoff left side. That's a good cut. Now Harris inside the 30-yard line. Check that. That was the 3rd running back already in the game, Alan Scarborough.
Isn't that great to have that many running backs? Well, they're running edge pressure, and the edge guy got caught underneath the block, and that allowed us to bounce out and outside.
3rd down and 4 from the 29 of Bentonville. Jones to throw this time. Looking over the middle, zips it right. It's caught.
Perfect.
Inside the 25, spins off a man to the right side and down at the 21-yard line.
Perfect.
On the catch that time was Josh McMillan. He's a guy who has seen slightly more expanded roles last year, and now they expect him to play an even bigger role this year in a talented group of wide receivers. 1st and 10 from the 21, trips right. That's a bunch to the short side of the field. Jones takes the snap, hands it off straight at the middle. Scarborough with room inside the 15, and brought down, falling forward to the 11.
Yeah, they're going to panic down. They're going to start throwing a lot of pressure here. But
and Coach Blankenship going tempo here. It's 2nd and inches from just outside the 11-yard line. Same formation, narrow bunch right.
In the boundary.
Quick pass right side. That's Barnett inside the 10. He's got the first down. And he's brought down around the 8-yard line. Spav, with Barnett's speed, you'd think you wanted to get him the ball in space, but in that case, you're just looking to get it a few yards and move the chains, and so you basically threw up a wall in front of him with the bunch and said, catch and get what you can.
Absolutely. Well, you're anticipating some type of pressure. You're doing some things. He's really running the offense very well right now.
1st and goal.
Zone.
Scarborough breaks a tackle inside the 5 and brought down around the 1. Nice hole over the right side there.
I'm telling you, they're a 3-4 defense, and their linebackers are coming downhill and getting caught. They're blocking themselves.
Broken Arrow looking for its opening score of the season. Right back to Scarborough, straight up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown, Broken Arrow. A drive that started with a penalty trying to return the opening kickoff results in a 90-yard drive for a score, and Broken Arrow strikes first to open the 2022 season.
I love it. I love what we've done. We're keeping things under control with the quarterback. I tell you what, they don't want to walk their linebackers out of the box, so throwing those wide hooks, curl-type throws, what we have been doing is perfect. It's a perfect call.
The kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 Broken Arrow as the Tigers march right on down the field. Hunter Martins put the kick through. He was 48 of 49 in his PAT kicks last year. And gets the first one started off strong this year. 6:34 to play first quarter, 7-0 Broken Arrow. And Spav, you can't start it off a whole lot better than that.
No, I mean, there's a lot of things we wanted to do. Is we wanted to focus on, what the young quarterback can do, and it was perfect. And throwing the flares out of the backfield, running the wide zones and running the zones, that are really being effective for us right now. And especially hitting those mid passes. We're not throwing the deep passes, the mid passes, the little wide hook area, because those linebackers do not want to leave the pocket inside the box. They don't want to widen very much. So they're basically playing a loose zone over top. And I can see why we're trying to throw those smokes out on the edge. It's really a perfect drive.
Tigers averaged 4.9 yards per first down play and only faced 1 third down on that drive and converted it as well. Here's the kick up the near side. Oh, it's caught and he steps out of bounds. That's going to put Bentonville down at its own 7-yard line. Spav,
awesome.
if the returner lets that go out of bounds, it's a kick out of bounds. They get it at the 35.
Yeah.
That is a mistake from Christian Battles, just a sophomore on that kick return team, and that was an unfortunate mental mistake on that one.
Exactly.
Now the officials are talking things over here. The question, I think,
He
is
had 1 foot in, though.
did he catch it out of bounds or inbounds? And he did have 1 foot in.
Yeah, see, that's what he's saying.
Yep.
1 foot in, 1 foot out. Well, here's going to be a different story. This is kind of an old school offense, what Bentonville runs. The old 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 1 back. It's pretty much old school. Now, their line is huge, and our defensive line is not really all that big. So we're going to really need to move our line, stem them. We're going to have to get a lot of vertical rush. We're going to have to do things to get their shoulders turned.
1st and 10 Bentonville from its own 7-yard line. Carter Nye, the quarterback, in the pistol, bobbles the snap, hands it off up the middle. Not a lot of room to work, maybe 3 yards out to the 10-yard line, straight into the teeth of that Broken Arrow defense. And Coach, there's some guys that definitely made some plays on that defensive line from last year, but there are some guys that are a little inexperienced and they're a little thin in the interior, so you got to stay healthy, but stood up to the challenge on that first play at least.
Our linebackers are good, and I think our secondary is really good. See, he's manning up right now. He's going to put pressure in the box, make them run the football.
1 back set.
There he goes.
Handoff up the middle. Absolutely no room to work that time. It's a loss of a couple back to the 7-yard line, and that'll make it 3rd down and 10. No chance against that Broken Arrow front that time. You got a couple of guys in there.
I know, it's awesome. See, he's trying to penetrate, trying to get vertical penetration to break the pocket, and that's going to be the key, because some kind of movement like that, but that vertical movement, they can't get that in pass protection or even run, because their splits are pretty wide and they're big and slow.
Demarius Reynolds led the way on that last play. I'm excited to see what he does this year. I think he could have a big season. Here's a snap on 3rd and 10. Pressure immediately. It's lobbed left and it's incomplete.
Yeah.
Again, the Tigers in the backfield causing mayhem.
Yes, made him throw quick.
Well, Bentonville will punt out of its own end zone. Back to do the kicking duties is Logan Tymason, the senior. And for the Tigers, deep to return, I think it's McMillan. Check that, it's Cade Matthews. Matthews banged up at the end of last season, poised for a big year this year. Here's the snap, it's a good one. The punt is away off the left foot. And a big fair caught at the 45-yard line. And Broken Arrow will start in Bentonville territory. Let's go down to the sidelines and Madison Dildine. Madison, what do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, I just sat in on the running backs huddle with Coach Vince Davis, and he said it's evident that they don't want to tackle us. He said it's taking at least 2 or 3 of them. He said just keep running through them and do your thing, and we'll be great. Guys.
That seems like a pretty apt analysis of that first drive. Thank you, Madison Dildine, down on the sidelines for us.
There's more than 1 running back. We had 3 in there.
3,
didn't we?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome.
Well, not only did you have 3 running backs, you had Barnett get a carry, as well as Cooper Bates. So you had 5 different guys carry the football on that first drive. In the backfield right now
got the back
is Jones. He wants to throw it deep down the middle. Got a man. It's just out of his hands.
God, what a great call. He was wide open with a linebacker. Wow.
That was Scarborough who was the running back in on that play.
What a great call. And just, the quarterback just barely overthrew it, and it's, sometimes you see what, and you get a little antsy there, but what a great throw, though, really. Needed
just a hair more touch. Jones in at running back this time. 2 tight ends left, 1 receiver to either side. Owen Jones hands it off to Nate Jones, looking for the cutback. It wasn't there, so he just forces his way through the gap.
Yeah,
and he gains
5
4
yards. Yeah, 4 or 5 yards. That's good. Good play. Good play.
3rd down and 6 coming up from the Bentonville 41. It's just the second 3rd down that Broken Arrow has faced today.
Well, they're having a hard time adjusting to the 2 tight end sets that we have because he shifts it. They're off the line of scrimmage, so they move from one side to the other, but they're moving into the boundary.
McMillan and Matthews split right to the wide side of the field. It's Barnett split left. Here's the snap. Jones looking left, dumps it off to Barnett. He's got space at the 40-yard line. 1st down yardage, makes a man miss, and then he's tripped up inside the 30. Brought down around the Bentonville 27, but that moves the chains again.
Great call. Great call. That's shallow call. Look, trips in the boundary.
We've seen this formation a couple of times. Hand off to Jones, right side, into the formation. And he bowls his way forward for 4, maybe even 5, down around the 23.5-yard line. And Spav, going back to that 3rd down conversion, that's what Barnett will do for you with that speed. You don't necessarily have to throw it past the pylon or past the 1st down marker.
No,
you can get him to him and let him make a play.
That's probably a 2-yard pass.
Split to the left side this time is a Davion Rummins. 2 receivers split right. Seeing a lot of guys rotate through. That'll help keep fresh legs. Here's a pass left side. It's broken up, incomplete. New quarterback in the game was Cooper Bates. The defense had that one sniffed out immediately. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 6.
Trying to get a little tricky on it right there, and they didn't fall for it, especially with formation in the boundary and then doing this to the field.
Rummins split left. That is Matthews. Check that. McMillan split right. Barnett in the slot left. And now we've got Kyrie Harris in the slot to the right side. Empty backfield, tight end left. Bates will run it himself up the middle, and he's got a big hole. Lowers his shoulder, and he gets inside the 15. Yet again, a 1st down conversion for Broken Arrow.
What a great call. I mean, he goes empty with the Y off, and then the tight end leads on a nice side.
Too many men on the field here for Bentonville. Bates will take it himself up the middle. He got about 5, but that'll be a 5-yard penalty, so Broken Arrow will take it and keep the down. It'll be 1st down and 5 from about that same spot.
Tempo in a little bit and just running a lot of inserts. You know, that was an inside power. You know, you're having 2 people lead. Just really a good call.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't feel like we saw a ton of tempo from BA last year.
No, we didn't see as much as I thought. Now, Josh knows how to run tempo.
Officials are talking things over. I presume they'll take the penalty and have it be 1st and 5.
Yes.
Right now the play taking place in about the lone part of the field that has any sunlight remaining. And that's been a busy end zone so far, that north end zone, as Broken Arrow has already scored once and is threatening to do so again.
And then obviously we're – So I'm sorry, I'm just paying attention on something else here.
1st and 5. Line up to the right is Kyrie Harris as the running back in the formation. Bates the quarterback. Fakes the handoff. Bates takes it himself over the right side and gets about 3 yards down to the 6-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, a little communication error we had there. You can see a little mix-up.
The snap almost went straight to Harris.
I know. That would have been pretty good. Okay, we've got the 2 tight ends in there. Quarterback insert.
Power over the left side. That's enough to move the chains again. It'll be 1st and goal from about the 1-yard line.
I like this concept. We're going to bring him in to throw and to run.
Bates takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Uh-oh, there's a miscommunication there. He's drugged down for a big loss, back to about the 8-yard line, maybe even the 9. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from there. So we've seen a couple of miscommunications in this, last few downs here, and we'll have a change at quarterback as Owen Jones comes back into the contest.
That's first game jitters right there.
Well, and there could be any number of guys that could have gotten that play call wrong.
Absolutely.
Looks like Bentonville might have jumped into the neutral zone here. Sure enough, Scarborough back into the game. He forgot his gloves, though, so he'll go get his gloves from the sideline. we've already seen him out in a couple of routes, actually all three of the
Right.
running backs.
Well, Josh is running the 12 personnel again, 2 tight ends, 1 back, and they're off the line of scrimmage. So this is, I love this formation.
Right now it's Siebert, the tight end to the right. That's Zachary
Back
Siebert.
protection.
Jones running right, tucks the ball inside the 5. He didn't get much, just down to about the 4. That'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Well, we max protected, so it was a 2-receiver route. And basically we were looking at one, he was covered, so he ran the football. He did what he could. Make up what you can.
Speaking of max protect, Nate Jones has come back into the game. Coach Blankenship called him the best pass pro running back they had.
Exactly.
So, we may see that here if they want to get some other guys out into the formation. Here's the snap. Hand off instead to Jones' left side, trying to get to the corner. He can't get there. He's tripped up for a loss of a couple back to the 6, and that'll bring up 4th down and goal. Looks like the field goal team will come on.
Yeah, here we go.
This is a field goal unit that was very good last year. Hunter Martins was 8 for 8, so that's his career number is 8 for 8, and he had a long of 45. This one will be just about a 23-yarder, and from inside 29 yards, he was 3 for 3 last season.
Right.
On the near hash. Snap back, really not even coming after it. The kick's on the way, and it splits the uprights. 10-0 Broken Arrow.
There we go.
With 1 minute and 1 second left in the first quarter. 2 drives, 2 scores, not bad.
I know. Boy, I'm looking over here in the end zone. I'm seeing all of our administrators over there. It's all of our administrators in lounge chairs.
I was going to say the lawn chairs down
they're
there.
Having a.
Hey, they got them some shade, and
I know they got the lawn chair. Look at them, man. It's just, they're just styling there.
That is not a bad way to go.
Get the lawn chairs and just have a good time over there.
Someone to my knowledge did not bring a lawn chair is Madison Dildine. She's got the comfy tennis shoes on. I don't think she brought a lawn chair. Madison, not as hot as Dallas last year. What's the weather like? What's the atmosphere down there on ground level?
The energy is so high, you can definitely tell that this is the first game of the season. Student section is pumped, band sounds amazing. Football, they're just having the best time down here. Weather, perfect. Great football weather. Back to you, Adam.
So we like to hear, and Madison's in the shade. They got a decent-sized press box over here, so whole shaded on that far side of the field. And she talked about that first game atmosphere, Spav.
Yeah.
We saw the early penalty for Broken Arrow. Since then, it's been very clean.
Exactly. And this is an away game, too, and having such a big crowd like we brought, it's great.
It's a good
This
kick
guy's
that's
a
caught
stud
back
right
at the
here.
4-yard line. Space over the 20 and
Great
a
coverage.
flying stop at the 22-yard line. That was C.J. Brown on the return. He tried to hurdle a couple of guys and just couldn't quite clear him.
He's a big-time player. He's a big-time recruit. So that was a great play for us. Giving the ball to the 22-yard line. Now, we did what we needed to. We need a 3 and out, and this is what we need again here. We need to control them, make them throw the football, use our speed with their O-line. You can see how big their O-line is. Now, all we got to do is basically penetrate it, make their shoulders turn so they can't get 2-on-1.
How about this I formation? Under center goes Carter Nye. Takes the snap, hands it off straight up the middle. Not a lot of room for that big-time running back Josh Ficklin, and he's driven back after a gain of about 1. And remember, not only is the running back Ficklin quite the playmaker, their strength is their offensive line. The left tackle, Joey Sua, is an Arkansas commit. Their center has a couple of Division II offers, so they've got some good talent up front. But so far, the Tigers have really stymied that run game.
And that's interesting. They went to 21 personnel, 2 backs and 1 tight end. That's interesting. They haven't shown that. So
Ficklin is really their guy at running back. He's got 3 carries for 1 yard so far.
Right.
2nd down and 9, 2 receivers left. This time they'll throw it. Oh, miscommunication, wide open up the far side. It's caught, running up the left sideline to the 30, inside the 20. No one's going to catch him. Luke Kuhn takes it all the way, and Bentonville strikes back. They're back within 4, and the PAT could make it 3 with just 2 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Boy, we had a communication breakdown on that because, boy, he was wide open. There wasn't anybody on him. Giving up big plays is something you strive early in the year because those things can happen. They can happen this early.
Well, if you're going to have that happen, You might as well be up 10 when it does happen, so you gave yourself a little wiggle room.
Absolutely.
Bentonville gets the big play to respond, and we came to see a football game. We might as well have a good one while we're here.
But, I don't know how they're...
Oh, the kick might have been blocked. Did it get through? It did not. That was blocked by the Tigers. That'll keep it a 4-point game. I'm not sure who got the hand on it.
Well, we got to get the communication down. That was one of those old jailbreak and go type routes.
Yep.
They're running a jailbreak or smoke. It's more of a smoke, which is just he hitches back out. And then you just ran a go route with it. And that's something you got to really watch. I'm telling you. You got to focus on those. You got to keep everything underneath. Quit trying to be so aggressive. Keep all the routes underneath. This quarterback is really not that good. We got to make him throw, but not like that.
And this is a secondary that
is strong.
Is pretty darn good. Luke McGowan, Jalen Franklin, those are the corners. You got Donovan Hardaway in there, who's a newer safety at just a sophomore at 6 foot 180. Elisha Wilson is a senior. We saw him quite a bit last year, but some sort of miscommunication there. I'm not sure. I know there was one deep safety in the middle. Not sure if that was supposed to be cover 3 or if it was maybe man with one up top.
Yeah, I think they were manning, but they saw the smoke.
Yeah, the hitch.
Smoke route, the hitch, and they both attacked it.
There's a good kick. It floats just into the end zone. And subsequently, Alan Scarborough won't have a chance to bring it out. The touchback puts it on the 20. Broken Arrow will start there 1st and 10. They'll have one play before the first quarter ends. It's 10-6, Broken Arrow.
God, that quarter went fast, didn't it?
The Tigers ran the ball a bunch.
I know, it's awesome. They had a good drive, 2 good drives, actually.
20 runs compared to 7 passes for the Broken Arrow Tigers in that first half. On the flip side, Bentonville has only run 5 plays, but one of them was that big touchdown pass a moment ago that went for 77 yards.
Right. But we have to score when we're in the red zone. That is so important that we got to score.
Broken Arrow 2 for 2 scoring in the red zone. One of them a touchdown, one of them a field goal. There's a sack that will end the first quarter. Jones faked the handoff, was rolling right, didn't have anybody to throw it to, and the sack will end the first 12 minutes. With Broken Arrow leading Bentonville 10-6, but it'll be 2nd and long when we return. We will take a break, flip the field around, and be back with more in just a moment. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on Arrowvision.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first. There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
We're back in Bentonville, Arkansas. Broken Arrow at Bentonville tonight. It's 10-6, Broken Arrow, as we head towards the second quarter. I'm Adam Hildebrandt alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine is on the sidelines for us tonight. And Spav, everything was going right for the first, 10 minutes and 50 seconds there or so. And then the big play put Bentonville on the board. But now you have a chance to see what happens, how you respond when you get hit in the mouth. You gave up the big play, then a sack to end the half. How do you respond now coming here to start the second quarter?
Well, that's things we got to work on, is just the actions after adversity.
Scarborough trying the middle. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, plus about a yard out to the 21. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Cooper Bates in at quarterback. Josh Blankenship said we'll play both of them and see kind of who establishes themselves, not necessarily for the season, but maybe for a stretch of play during the game. 2 receivers to either side. Scarborough still in the game at running back. Bates going to throw, looking left, launches it deep up the left side. He's got a man, and it is caught by Matthews up the left side, out at the 25-yard line. That's a great pass. Nice use of the body by Cade Matthews as well. And Spav, we saw some flashes from him last year, but obviously R.J. Spears-Jennings was kind of the focal point, and then Matthews got hurt towards the end of the season. He's got the talent, I think, to really have a breakout season.
Absolutely. And tempoing a little bit. We're coming up.
That's a great ball by Bates, too. 1st and 10. Bates wants to throw it again. Pump fakes, looking deep. Now needs to scramble. Moving to his left. He picks up a block, tucks it, runs through a man, but is brought down at the 24-yard line or so. They are just now setting the chains. I think he gained 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, we got to be careful on that now.
We have a whistle. Is our player down? There is a Bentonville player down at the 29-yard line. Can't tell if that's a 5-1 or a 6-1. I think if that's 51, that'd be Amy Contreras. Real solid contingent of Broken Arrow fans making the trip over. Those away stands are pretty full. That is, we've just confirmed Amy Contreras down on the field there for Bentonville, a senior defensive lineman. Right now, the sun continuing to set behind us. North-south oriented football field here. That'd be an oddly shaped football field if it was north and west oriented. Right now at 7:32, we're looking at temperatures of 84 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Contreras is going to be helped off the field, but is mostly walking under his own power.
You know, we need to get back to running the football like we did. You know, as
the official
our first,
coming out with flags, it looks like.
Our first touchdown, we drove the ball and ran the ball with the outside zones, the powers, the inside. You know, we need to get back to that. We need to get physical with them because they didn't have an answer to what we did. We can't physically beat them and then give up a big play. We got to really be strong in what we're doing.
So far, the Tigers, if you do the sack-adjusted yards per carry, are averaging 4.6 yards per carry. The two quarterbacks combined are 6 for 8 for 85 yards, including that big one a moment ago.
Right.
The efficiency has been there. We'll see if it continues. 2nd down and 8. Scarborough in the backfield, behind Bates. Barnett in the slot right. That's McMillan split out all the way right. Tight end right as well. Here's the snap. Scarborough straight at the middle.
Nice.
Hurdles a man on the ground, then runs over a defender. He might have gotten the 1st down. He's close.
Here we go. That's what we need to do.
Right at the 16-yard line.
We're basically running away from the strength of the formation. So what a great play. Let's just keep running the football there. We got the best running backs around.
They're going to say it's 3rd down and inches. I'd be surprised if this wasn't some sort of read option, getting somebody going downhill here. Scarborough steps to the right of Bates. They hand it off to him. 1st down yardage inside the 10. He kind of sprinted through a gap on that left side, and he'll be brought down around the 9-yard line. That brings up 1st and goal.
This is important.
I tell you what, these fresh legs are going to really play a big role as this season goes on.
Going in and out.
Because you've got now Kyrie Harris, who's jumped into the game. Nate Jones was the starter. You're rotating all sorts of guys in on this offense, and that means, first of all, you better be cohesive as a unit, but secondly, you're going to have fresh legs all throughout the season. Receiver to either side.
Oh, great.
Bates flips it out left side. It's caught and into the, no, he's out at the 1.
Oh, what a great play.
That was the tight end, Joshua Wilhite, 6'2 senior. Didn't quite sneak into the end zone.
Well, they snuck the tight end off the line of scrimmage. They snuck him across the formation in the flat.
This time they hand it off to Kyrie Harris, and he's in easily on the left side. The Tigers back into the end zone and now lead 16-6 with 9:37 to play in the second.
See, that's what you got to do. You know, I used to believe that you had to score you had to average 3.5 yards.
3.5 points.
3.5 points in the red zone. I used to really believe that. Well, I was talking to Dana Holgerson over the summer from the University of Houston. And he says, no, He said that statistic doesn't work anymore. He said all she got to judge is how many touchdowns do you score in the red zone.
Okay.
Because you better score. If you kick field goals, you're going to lose.
The Tigers are 2 for 3 in terms of punching the ball in when they get in the end zone today, and that would be a vast improvement over last year. Last year it was just 59%. Opponents were 71% in red zone touchdowns. So that was a big deficit last year. We're seeing an improvement already.
I remember that. You're right. But we should have had the other touchdown here, but we beat ourselves.
Yeah, first and goal from the 1.
Yeah.
He ended up getting backed up after a miscommunication and a sack.
Now we have to redeem ourselves. Keep the routes underneath. Really do that. Keep the routes underneath and just make them run and play for the run. Make them beat us underneath.
Ficklin Brown battles. Back to receive for Bentonville. The kick is away. It's a line drive kick. Caught by Battles. Brings it across the 25. Now room past the 30. Sprinting through tacklers. Then drugged down from behind in Broken Arrow territory. Check that. That was Brown on the return that time. And on the tackle for the Tigers, I believe, was Tyreek Taylor.
There's no way I would kick the ball to that guy. There's no way.
He's already shown to be pretty electric.
Well, even on the first one, he showed a little sign of it. Don't kick to him. It's that simple.
9:29 to play in the second quarter. 17-6 Broken Arrow. It's been a good start, but we're seeing it's not been quite as clean over the last 5 minutes or so.
Correct. But see, we're in a heavy press man here.
Far and away the best starting field position for Bentonville. On the carry that time is Ficklin over the left side. He gets about 4 yards down to the Broken Arrow 44. He was hit about at the line of scrimmage, but strong kid, able to fight his way down for about 4 yards.
I got to see if they're going to penetrate here. Let's see.
Austin Newell on the tackle that time. Here's a handoff to the fullback over the right side. Just a couple
see
yards
that
down to the 42. Yeah, but we may have said handoff to the fullback.
I know.
You can count on one hand the amount of times we said that last season. Brings up 3rd and 4.
The ball?
That's kind of screaming to me this is 4-down territory for Bentonville here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because you got
especially
3rd and 4 now.
17-6.
8:34 to play in the half. One receiver to either side. 2 tight ends left. It's a pistol set this time. Nye gives it off to Ficklin. Left side trying to get to the corner, and he does. Inside the 35-yard line. Cut down by Elisha Wilson, but not until he got the first down at the Broken Arrow 33.
Yeah, that was just the running back. They're running a tight end trips there, and it just sealed the edge and let him bounce. But we were there. We just got to make plays.
Well, a good block on the near side by that receiver, too. I did not get a number on who that was. But
yes, he did a great job.
He did a nice job keeping the corner at bay and allowing just enough extra space for Ficklin to make a play. Pistol set again, 1st and 10 now, Bentonville from the Tiger 33. They hand it off to Ficklin, trying the left side. Finds a little space inside the 30, and he's dropped down at the 22-yard line.
I lost the back
with another tackle.
Well, they're in 2 tight ends. One back, 12 personnel, and we're trying to get edge pressure on that, and boy, he's just coming underneath that edge pressure and making some good yardage.
Yeah, it's making it really tough on those guys on the defensive end.
The linebackers especially have to fit that and fit it soundly.
Here's the snap. Want to throw. Right side. Ooh, pretty well contested, but they fit it right in the slot, and it's caught at the 5-yard line for a first down and goal.
That was right in the money.
J.J. Spafford in the right spot, and boy, that's one of those where if that's off a foot in either direction, it's at least deflected, if not intercepted.
Right. Boy, that was a good ball. Come on now, let's go. We're making things too easy for them. We're keeping things alive.
Spafford split left, Pate split right. I formation this time. They held it off to Ficklin. Trying the right side. He stood up at the 3 and pushed backwards. A couple of guys in on that play. Looked like Jalen Franklin might have been in there. Also, I think
30.
30. I was going to say, was it 30 or 33? That would be Cole Lamont.
Yeah, we apologize. We're still getting to know a lot of these players here. A lot of new players coming in and out.
In particular on the offensive end.
I know, it's just...
Lamont, the backup linebacker, listed second on the 2D. A lot of linebackers on that 2D. They're 3 deep across most of the linebacking spots. Lob pass left side, and it is caught in the back corner of the end zone for a touchdown. C.J. Brown using his body well to shield the defender, and just like we saw Broken Arrow throw a nice fade down the sideline, that's a pretty textbook fade to the back corner right there.
I'll tell you what, I take back everything I said pregame on that quarterback, especially what I saw during the scrimmages and stuff. I wasn't really I wasn't impressed with him in the scrimmages and stuff that I watched film on, but right now this young man has made some unbelievable throws.
Well, when you have a guy that's as big a target as C.J. Brown, that's helpful as the PAT is on its way and good. That makes it a 4-point game, 17-13, but I mean, we're seeing, you mentioned old school football with 11 personnel. That's a bit of an old school route there. You know, you're lined up in in the pistol, lob it to the back, that back corner fade, and it was well played both from the quarterback's perspective and the wide receiver spot.
Well, you know, when I was at Union a long time ago, you know, we ran 11 personnel. We were one of the few people that ran that one back and one tight end, and you know, we were doing things just old school football. And it was really, and that's what I'm seeing right now with them. And it's sound football. Don't get me wrong. When I say old school, it still works, obviously. You know, we probably need to go down in the lounge chair section and talk to Larry Shackelford and see, you know, our associate superintendent, and see what we need to do.
Might have to send Madison down there.
Yeah. I joke with them. They're great people. Great administrators, all of them.
They'll be hoping to see a Broken Arrow bounce back here. 6:39 to play, second quarter. Broken Arrow still leading by 4. But the Bentonville Tigers not going away easily here in the first half.
No.
As you would probably expect from a team playing their first game of the year. Well, that's a good kick. That's going to easily go into the end zone.
Kick, can he?
Touchback will bring it out to the Broken Arrow 20. And again, Broken Arrow will start with not ideal field position. They had the one drive that started in Bentonville territory, but other than that, it's been the 20, and their own 10.
And you know what's crazy? This has been a relatively clean game.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's quite unusual in a first game of the year.
So far, no turnovers, only 2 penalties for a total of 14 yards between the two teams.
But you don't see many timing errors.
Handoff straight up the middle. Oh, good bounce over the right side. That's Jones spinning forward to about the 26-yard line. A couple of guys on the tackle.
Yeah, that's where their big bodies come in on the D-line, because, you know, they clogged it and forced us to bounce out on that.
The junior Logan Robertson in on the tackle that time. Straight up the middle. Not a lot of room that time for Jones either.
Well,
bring up third and about 3.
Well, and those are convertible. You know, the only problem is we're back in our end.
It's Jones and Jones in the backfield. Owen the quarterback, Nate the running back. Third down and 3. Tigers need their own 30-yard line.
Good.
Screenplay set up. Left side, that's the tight end screen, and he just got enough for the first down.
Nice.
Joshua Wilhite just snuck over that 30-yard line. And Spav, we saw that quite a bit last year, that tight end screen. Joshua Wilhite moves really good. He's got decent size too, so he can block some, but he can move a little bit for a tight end, and I like that incorporation into the play there.
I think the timing was a little fast, but that's going to get better as we go.
Two receivers right, one left. Jones takes the handoff. Cuts it up the middle across the 35-yard line and stopped there. Got out near the 36. That'll bring up second down and 4.
See, that was just your old split zone, and you could see the backers favoring the tight end that's moving across the formation. So that's what makes that play really successful.
Broken Arrow less efficient on first down after that first drive. Currently just 3.6 yards per play on first down. Here's 2nd down and 4.
Split zone
Wants
pass.
to throw it deep. Bates looking for Barnett. He makes the catch at the 34-yard line and is hit hard there, but was able to keep it in his hands. That's another big play and another big throw downfield from Cooper Bates.
Well, they ran the play action off the same play they ran before. They ran split zone and they ran split zone pass. Very good. Out of 12 personnel.
Only way you can improve that is if you get that out in front of Barnett, he's gone.
See, I like this formation with 12 with the Y zone.
Whoa, a high snap is rolling back at midfield. Bates scoops it up, now trying to run over the right side. Doesn't have anybody to throw it to, and he's shoved out of bounds around the 46-yard line. So that's a loss of about 16 on the play, but could have been a lot worse. They mark him at the 45. That'll bring up 2nd down and 21. Broken Arrow so far is 7 for 8 on 3rd downs, but they need a chunk here to just get them in a decent spot to try to convert on 3rd. 2nd and 21.
Here comes the linebacker.
Quick pass left side.
Let him wiggle.
That's Kyrie Harris inside the 40.
Good.
Push forward down to about the 37-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 13.
Okay. Get something positive out of it. Now here again, you're in the red zone. You got to score touchdowns.
Gain of 8 yards. It's 3rd down.
Come on now.
Long way to go here.
Okay, got Jones at quarterback again. Let's see what he does.
3rd and 13 is the longest distance the Tigers have had to gain on a 3rd down. We've got a stoppage. Looks like the officials take a timeout. Was it an equipment malfunction? Or did he say he got sick? I didn't see him cleaning anything off the turf, so he must be all right. 2 receivers at the tight end left. Scarborough behind Owen Jones, the quarterback. Now he moves to his left. Shotgun for Jones. Takes a snap, looking left, has some time, steps up, throws right. It's caught at the 29-yard line. It won't be enough for the first down, but it is a gain of about 8. And it brings up 4th down and 5.
Now they were probably thinking it's 4-down territory, so let's get half of it and then let's go again like they're doing now.
Yeah, the Tigers were not great in 4th down situations last year, Spav. 12 for 28 for 43%.
I know.
Part of that due to being in some 4th and longer situations. 4th down and 5, hard count doesn't work. Trips to the left with the tight end Wilhite left. It's Barnett in the slot. Here's a snap. Looking right. Jones tucks, now running left, trying to get back up the middle. He lost the football. It's flung out forward, but they'll say he was down at the 27-yard line. He gained a couple, but it'll be short of the first down, and Bentonville takes over on downs. Now the Bentonville Tigers with their first chance to take a lead in this ball game.
Yeah. Well, they took the route away from where Owen was wanting to throw the football, and that just forced him to get out of there. Where he's having trouble right now as a young quarterback, which all do, is getting your secondary reads. And you know that as a quarterback yourself, how difficult that is. It's difficult when you're a senior.
And I noticed, Spav, both of those plays had really quads left. You had 2 receivers, a tight end, and the running back on the field side, and then just one receiver on the boundary. And both of those throws went to that one receiver on the boundary. So they kind of maybe taking those reads away a little bit. 1st and 10, Bentonville. Sweet play left side, room across the 30. Sliding in there to make the play was Dietrich Moore, a guy who we expect to have a really big year this year. He was the heart and soul of this defense till he got banged up in that Edmond Santa Fe game last year, and was still played an active role in terms of his additions from the sideline and helping those guys around him.
It was a huge loss.
He's a big talent in there in the middle.
But it's been 8 months since his surgery. I mean, this guy's a machine to come back that quick.
And doesn't look like he's missed any steps. Here's the handoff up the middle. Bottled up pretty quickly. A couple of yards out to the 35. They might give him the 36. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, let's see.
Bev, we saw some early pressure up the middle from this defensive line over the first drive or two for Bentonville. The Bentonville offensive line has made some adjustments. They're doing a better job keeping Broken Arrow out of the backfield.
I can't really tell, but it looks like their splits have narrowed down a little bit more. And, yeah, their splits are pretty they're narrower now than they were.
3rd and 1, 2 minutes to play before halftime. Handoff straight at the middle. First down yardage out to the 39. Not a big gain, but enough to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 Bentonville as the clock takes down near 2 minutes.
They're finding those little seams, and we're fitting late with the backers right now, and it's tough. I mean, I think in this type of offense, you've got to move your line. You can't be where they think you're going to be, because you have to stem and do all kinds of things.
4 down lineman for the Tigers. A little motion here. They hand it off on the counter to the right side. Moving over the right side is Ficklin, and he's brought down for a gain of about 5 out to the 44-yard line. That counter action off of the jet sweep action was just enough to find him some space.
Well, they're going to run where the back goes. I mean, the running back or the offensive lineman goes. When he pulls, that's where they're going.
2nd and 5, going to throw it this time. Looking deep over the left side, and it's caught by Brown. He's out in space, and he's going to go the distance. Bentonville takes the lead on the 46-yard touchdown pass from Carter Nye to C.J. Brown.
Well, there again, in my thinking, especially early in the year, is don't play so much press coverage. Keep all the routes underneath you. Play over top, because you can't give up plays like that. You know, that's just one-on-one, and he's a heck of an athlete. I'm not saying he's better than our athlete, but this early in the year, it's more difficult to defend that.
A bunch of whistles. Broken Arrow was offsides. That'll be half the distance. And keeping in mind, Spav, that PAT was blocked earlier, this may be a chance for Bentonville to go for 2.
Yeah, here they come.
I think they will. Bentonville takes a timeout. I think it's a good call. They were taking too long to get those guys out on the field.
Exactly.
If you're gonna go for 2 here, you got to get everybody on the same page.
Right.
A chance for Bentonville to steal that point back, and now for the Tigers, a chance to keep this where it's just a 2-point game, where a field goal gives you the lead for the Broken Arrow Tigers. I suppose I need to be specific this evening under the circumstances.
Right.
Not only are both teams the Tigers, they're both black and gold.
I know.
A big thank you to Skip Hyde down the way doing stats for us. Jeremy Bryan, our spotter, back for season. Well, I don't know how many seasons it is for him. It's 3 for me. It's 3 for him too. Look at that. I mean, it came in together. Terry Sprider to my left. We've got who I will lovingly refer to as Tony's crew, running all the cameras and all that kind of stuff. It's a full-on operation here at ArrowVision. We appreciate everybody coming along for the ride this year. 1:13 left in the second quarter. Here's the 2-point conversion attempt. Carter Nye in the pistol set. 2 tight ends left. Here's the snap. Handed off straight at the middle. Ficklin into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. That makes it 21-7 Bentonville. Sorry, 21-17.
They didn't get too smart. They just ran that inside zone there and 12 personnel and just got those big bodies on us. Made it difficult.
Ficklin's not had an overwhelmingly good game so far, but he's averaging 4 yards a carry. So when you got it at the 1.5-yard line, you might as well give it to him.
Yeah.
21-17. And a good point from Jeremy Bryan. Tigers got the ball first, so Bentonville will get the ball to start the second half. So if you could find a way to score in this minute and 13 seconds, that'd be awfully nice.
Absolutely. But just be careful. Don't do anything. I mean, this is the first ball game of the year. Just really be sound in what you're doing. You got a minute 13. Do what you can do. Sometimes it backfires when you go into these big plays and they intercept it or do something. You know, you got to be real careful at that, or fumble.
Broken Arrow has gained 258 yards. They've outgained Bentonville by 59 yards. And the Tigers are 7 of 9 on third down conversions, have scored all 3 times they've been in the red zone, and yet they find themselves down 4 here as we approach halftime. Mostly due to a couple of big plays for Bentonville.
Well, I think what we need to do is get a call in to Steve Allen and his crew. Steve Allen is president of our school board, and he's got a good football crew here that we need some help with.
Scarborough over the right side. Tripped up, brought down about the 18. That looked fairly promising at the beginning, but good kick coverage down the field that time from Bentonville.
He seemed a little shy with his run.
Shy is one thing you cannot be returning kicks.
No. You can't. He's got the speed, though. And he's young, so he's going to be okay.
Flags are laying absolutely still across and to our left.
No.
Not much wind to speak of on a nice warm night here to start the high school football season. Not overwhelmingly warm, which is nice. McMillan will be split out right. Barnett in the slot left. I believe that's Matthews split out left. Jones in the backfield along with Jones. Nate Jones takes the handoff up the middle, breaks a tackle, spinning left, looking for some room now, cuts it back at the middle across the 25.
Good job.
And brought down around the 27-yard line. We'll have a timeout taken by Broken Arrow. And head coach Josh Blankenship. Now getting that little chunky yardage on first down, that allows you to try some things here on second down with just 55 seconds to go in the half.
Just running the ball, he's smart. Don't do something crazy in the passing game. We're backed in our own end. Let's do something smart.
Give credit to Nate Jones there. He ran into the back of a couple of offensive linemen. It didn't look like he had anywhere to go, but he kept the legs moving and made something out of it.
You weren't going to bring him down. That was hard. That was a tough runner. I love it. I love it. It seems like right now they're winning the lines of scrimmages right now. Right now. Not early, but right now they are. But we need to come back second half and get that little toughness back that we had. We can't give up the big plays. I think we need to loosen our coverages.
Spav, you got 73 yards to go in 55 seconds. The defense knows that. They're going to be trying not to get beat deep here. This seems like an ideal time for a drag for Barnett across the middle and just see if you can't get him in some space.
Very good.
He split out right. Takes a snap, dumps it over the middle. Jones complete to... That was Joshua Wilhite, the tight end. Quickly get to the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure the Tigers got set. False start on Broken Arrow. 47 seconds to play in the half. That'll back the ball up to about the 28. So it's essentially in the same spot that it was before, but now you got 1st and 15 instead of 2nd and 3.
But I like your thinking on that little drag route. That is such a wonderful play. That's what my son does. That's from Leach football. That's Leach football, dragging that guy in there. You see it.
Caleb Barnett's got the speed. If you get him the ball in space, he can get up the field a long way in a hurry. Now they zip one up the right side. It's too high.
Trying to run a curl flag up here. That's
Jones was looking for McMillan. McMillan, 6'2", 180.
But see, they're keeping all the routes underneath if you think about them. If you look what they're doing. They've got everybody over top.
They had Barnett pressuring deep in the middle there. 2nd down and 15, 35 seconds before halftime. Jones looks left, fires, it's caught. That is Matthews, who steps out of bounds around the 40-yard line. It brings up 3rd down and 3. That only took 5 seconds off the clock. 30 seconds remaining before halftime.
Good. This is working like your 2-minute offense. You need to work on these things throughout the year. Just do what you need to do.
And that's a nice chunk play there. You got a dozen yards and only spent 5 seconds. Jones back in the backfield. To the right of Owen Jones, the quarterback. 2 receivers to either side. Here's the snap. Little draw play. Nate Jones up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's got space into Bentonville territory across the 35 and down inside the 30. 22 seconds left on the 2nd quarter clock and a timeout for Broken Arrow. What a play call on the draw.
What a great call. But see, that's keeping things simple. That's keeping things simple and doing what you need to do right now.
Well, and you're making the defense work against itself. In that timing and situation, they're going to be avoiding the deep ball and avoiding anything to the boundary. So they just said, hey, we'll give it to where they aren't and just run it right out the middle.
Well, screens and draws are the answer when they're playing deep.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Bentonville 29-yard line.
Man, if we can get in here and kick a field goal.
Get it to a 1-point game. You've already got one field goal make in the game. Owen Jones, 8 for 10 for 63 yards. Cooper Bates, 5 for 6 through the air for 98 yards. These guys combining to go 13 for 16 so far here in the first half. And the offense is 315 yards of offense in the first half.
Isn't that crazy?
Only 17 points to show for it. Simply because of one play that kind of derailed you, that big loss on the the errant snap.
Right.
Put you in a hole.
That killed us right there, yes.
Offense
We were like right
good
here when it happened.
One receiver left, looking deep. That's McMillan. It's a back shoulder fade, and the ball is caught, but a couple of flags. I think that's going to be offensive pass interference. That was not McMillan. That was Matthews. That defender went to the ground, and I think that was going to be enough to get the call.
Man, that was 2 flags, too. Let's lost it down, too.
Now it's going to be tough to get into field goal position, too. Pass interference on the offense is the call. That'll move the Tigers clear back to the Bentonville 44. Now you need a similar pass to get into field goal range.
Right.
A long way to go
seconds. We got to have one pass. There's 2 plays, really.
Matthews split right, McMillan wide left. Barnett in the slot left side. The Tigers do have 1 timeout left here in the half. That's Will Height split right as the tight end. Here's the snap. Jones immediately pressured up the middle, breaks a tackle. It's now running left, lobs it to the left side, out of bounds, incomplete.
Smart. That was smart.
He had the speedster Barnett. I wouldn't say open in the slot. There was a defender between them. That would have been a tough play to make.
Well, just having that quick pressure by that linebacker up the middle, they blitzed that linebacker, and he was in his face instantly, and that's tough to defend. So now they're backed all the way off. That's 2-man rush now.
Whoa, something goofy happened there. Looked like an early snap. The rest of the line was not moving, and Jones just had to kind of run around. With 5 seconds left in the half, Broken Arrow will take a timeout. That's their final timeout. And the Tigers now are just trying to find some sort of magic to get down in the end zone at this point. Going to have to be a big-time play. And this seems like a time where you just try to find a playmaker in space and see what happens, as opposed to, it's just halftime. If this were the end of the fourth quarter, then you might be in one of those situations where you end up with 15 laterals and all that kind of thing. But this seems more like a spot where you get a playmaker the ball in space, and if they can't make it, they can't make it. You go to halftime and figure out what adjustments to make.
That's right. And you gotta think about their thought processes right now, the way they think. I'm just a big believer in the way you think. Like when you're coming in from a halftime, where's all the celebration and all that stuff that we had previously? We're not having it right now.
Right.
We're having negative thoughts put in our head, and we've got to change the way we think. Get out there and go. They're going to have adversity. How do you act after it?
21-17. Here's the snap. Jones looking deep, launches it up the right side. There's a couple guys there. The ball is tipped and incomplete. Well defended. That was Brown in on the defensive play that time to knock that ball down. He's been playmaker #1 for Bentonville so far in this game. 21-17, the halftime score. And we'll go down to the sidelines of Madison Dildine. Madison?
Coach, you're trailing going into the second half. What do you want to see change in the next quarter?
Focus on us. I mean, our issues are self-inflicted, and that's pretty typical in a week 1. It's pretty typical throughout the season. So we've got to get our stuff cleaned up and play our ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much, Madison. Coach Blankenship just pretty well wanted to clean things up.
Right. That's absolutely right. I mean, you think about it, we're the ones that are making mistakes. The fumbles, the bad snap, things like that. We have to really fix that up, and he'll fix it.
4 penalties for 31 yards, but 8 for 11 on third down conversions.
but just having some lost yardage and things, we've got to really focus on running the football game. That's what we did that first drive, if you remember. How many plays did we have that first drive? Quite a few, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, hold on, I'll go look.
15 plays or something?
Let's see. First drive was 15 plays for 80 yards. The second one was 13 plays over 39 yards.
We have to get that, though. We have to get back to that. You know, do run what we can do successfully. We need to run the football, short passes in the white zones or the white hooks.
Look at the 3 scoring drives for Broken Arrow, 15, 13, and 8 in terms of the play numbers. For Bentonville on their 3 touchdown drives, 2, 7, and 5. It's been those quick strikes, those busted coverages, those sort of things, and it goes back to what Coach Blankenship was saying.
I mean,
you got to eliminate those mistakes.
We can't give up big plays to win this game. I mean, we're the better team, but we're winning. I mean, I really think we're the better team, but they're winning. We're losing basically because we're giving up big plays. We cannot do that. You can't afford to do that.
21-17, the score at the half. We will take a break. Back with more Broken Arrow Tiger football here in just a little bit on Arrow Vision.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments and we are fully prepared for your safety in our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for almost a century. Thank you for trusting us.
For families who like to build their wealth while staying liquid, we have flexible rate CDs to keep your funds working hard, even when you're not. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. The right balance.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Welcome back to Broken Arrow Tiger Football. This is Ken Ellett, and today's guest is Daniel Stewart, our head athletic trainer. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
People may not realize it, but his role as the athletic trainer is probably one of the most important roles in our district, dealing with our student athletes, keeping them safe. Daniel, let's start out with you. Just tell a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm entering my 10th year here at BA. But before I came to BA, I was 6 years as an assistant athletic trainer with Oral Roberts University, where I took care of volleyball and baseball my first year, and then I took care of women's basketball my last 5 years there. After that, after ORU, I came on at BA, and been loving it here ever since. So, like I said, starting my 10th year out here.
Very good. Well, let's jump right into it. Question about, it has been a brutal summer as far as how hot it's been, a lot of sun, a lot of heat. That's got to make it a little bit more difficult for you, and what are maybe some of the things you do to combat that?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it has been a really hot summer. I talked with Channel 8 earlier about this week. What we do, we take every precaution we can and to make sure our student athletes are safe. We have ice baths ready. We have cold towels ready. We're making sure water's out there all the time for them. Taking the breaks when we need to. We do wet bulb globe check where it takes into the cloud, the wind, the temperature on the field, all that in considerations, and we kind of judge practice from there. And actually, Coach Blankenship's been great to work with. He listens to what we have to say, and there's been a few times we've actually had to move practice back extra 30 minutes, even though we're going in the evening. So safety of our student athletes always come first.
That's great. That's great. When you look at sports medicine today, you've been in it for a long time. Just like anything, things change, things get better, technology changes. What have been some of the things that over the last few years, whether it be here at Broken Arrow or just athletic training in general, have gotten better or changed?
Yeah, tell you the truth, one of the things, when I was going through undergrad, concussions was still the old way where it's like, oh, you got your bell rung. Okay, sit out for 15 minutes. Oh, no symptoms. Okay, you can go back onto the field. I saw that in undergrad. And then things started to change when I was in my master's, started slowly changing. And then really where it is now, it was basically a couple years working at ORU where concussions are now. Just the technology, the science behind the concussions have helped protect the student athletes so much more. And we've implemented that here. We have our concussion return to learn, because that's the most important thing to our students, is getting them into the classroom first and then back out into the field. So implementing that return to learn and return to play, I say that's been one of the big things that I've seen since I've started athletic training, concussion stuff. And then just technology with the treatments that we can do and rehab stuff. Just the field has just grown in just so many areas of just helping student athletes get back on the field, went from injuries, even diagnosis of injuries, new evals that doctors come up with that teach us at our seminars and stuff like that, where maybe you can find this certain injury a better way of doing this test. And so, but yeah, the biggest thing has probably been the concussions and then just the technology of equipment, just adding more stuff to it.
When you look at your job, do you spend a lot of athletic training? Do you spend a lot of time in preventative stuff? I mean, is that part of the picture that you guys get involved in?
Yes. And tell you, go back to my ORU days when I had women's basketball. We actually, I talked with the women's basketball coach because we're having ACLs every year, and we started in an ACL program. The strength coach and I worked together. I would do some things to prevent those ACLs, certain jumping exercises, certain balancing, strengthening exercises. And it seemed like our numbers cut down there when I was at ORU. And ever since being here, we have a lot more teams, but there's been teams to reach out to us. I've helped out our women's soccer team a couple years with showing them certain drills that to help prevent ACLs, implementing some stretching stuff. Also, who's been a great help to this is our strength conditioning staff, because the school's so big. We talk with them, and we kind of, Cody Ellett helps us. He implements some things in Summer Pride, where some prehab stuff, ankle stuff, knee stuff that he adds in the weight room that helps us on our part too. So, tell you the truth, it's the strength staff and sports medicine staff being on the same page to help try to prevent these things. So yeah, there's prevention. It plays a big part. We actually, another thing that we started doing with our quarterbacks, since we changed our system with our offense a little more, we're throwing a little more. We bring in our Throwers 10 program that our baseball team also does, and our softball team. So shoulder program with their bands, dumbbells, stuff like that, just to kind of help keep that shoulder strengthened up, kind of help prevent some stuff.
Well, you do a wonderful job, but you can't do it all by yourself. I know you've got a great staff. We've got team doctors. Tell us a little bit about those folks.
Yeah, incredible staff, and very, very lucky with what Broken Arrow has helped us get to having 3 on staff. There's me, and then there's Grace, and we just added a new athletic trainer with us, Aaron. Incredible pickup for us. So we have 3 on staff. Grace and Aaron are actually outreach from Tulsa Bone Joint, which I used to be with Tulsa Bone Joint, and then the school hired me on. And they don't work any at the clinic. They are basically full-time at Broken Arrow High School. And Aaron and Grace do a great job with these student athletes. Aaron, how we started switching things up, Grace is over at the field house with volleyball, taking care of softball, where Aaron's full-time just helping me with football and all the junior high football stuff. And then we kind of pitch in with helping with cross country. And then winter comes, we'll kind of break it down by sports. But Tulsa Bone Joint's been a great partner with us too, with Ascension St. John's. We've been lucky to have Dr. Balbos for the past 9 seasons with us. And he's helped build our staff in this program and shown a great representation with Tulsa Bone Joint to lead the way to, we have he's going to be moving on to more things with Tulsa Bone Joint, where now we'll be adding on Dr. Jason Griffin, great team physician. Actually, some of our athletes have already had surgeries with him and incredible outcomes. Our few athletes have already had stuff with him. Just love the doctor. Great guy with the athletes. He understands them, and just his bedside manners are great with the athletes. He shows that he cares about them.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us. Our sports medicine program's in great shape, and so glad you're a Tiger. And again, thank you for the time.
And thank you for having me on.
Since Broken Arrow Public Schools' founding, our schoolhouses have taken on many shapes, sizes, and locations around our beautiful city. The bricks and beams of those facilities makes them schoolhouses, but it's not what makes Broken Arrow home. A home is made of hopes and dreams. It's because of you, your hopes, and your dreams, and your ability to make the hopes and dreams of our students come true. That's why BA is home.
There's no place like home. Ooh, there's no place like home. I feel it deep in my soul. There's no place like home. Take me higher and where it's brighter, above the clouds, up in the air.
Because of you, there is no other place I'd rather call home. And always remember, the best is yet to come.
Ooh, there's no place like home. Ooh, there's no place like home.
Hey Tiger football fans, I'm Madison Dildine and we're here at Tiger Memorial Stadium about to go 100 yards with head coach Josh Blankenship. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Coach, you're now starting your second season at BA. Last season ended with a 5-game win streak, pulling off the upset against Owasso before falling to Union in the semifinals. What can fans expect out of year 2?
Hopefully continued momentum. You know, we feel that way about our off season. You know, it was some enough exciting things that happened last year to really speed up the trust in our culture. And you know, when you kind of develop that trust, then you can really elevate the things that you're wanting to do. And so we saw a really good off season. A lot of guys developed. So you're gonna see a lot of new faces, but hopefully we continue where we left off.
Last week you played a half-game scrimmage at Bixby against Muskogee. Talk to me a little bit about your defense's performance as well as some guys that stood out to you on offense.
Defense was really impressive in the sense that we're not trying to show everything that we have right now. It was mainly making sure we were executing our basic stuff, you know, not really trying to scheme up that opponent. And Muskogee was a great test for us, and I told our guys that they would be. Very athletic, very talented group. They don't have the depth and the numbers that we have, so maybe a 4-quarter game, you know, we probably would have separated. But 2 quarters was an awesome test for us, and I was really pleased with our defensive guys.
You talk a lot about leadership. How do you get your guys to buy into the culture that you and your staff are building?
You know, that just takes time. You know, it's like I mentioned, trust. Trust is so critical, and if our staff and our guys are consistent in our messaging and our love for these guys, that trust, you know, expands. And when you have that, then you're able to elevate some of your leaders, give them more authority, empower them, lean on them more, so you know what's going on behind the scenes, and then they can also be a voice for what you're trying to emphasize with the whole group.
On that note, who have you seen leadership from so far?
Dietrich Moore, you would hope, you know, with the type of player that he is, you know, he needs to have a voice on the team. He's certainly earned that and done a great job there. Jalen Franklin, one of our corners, Austin Newell, Josh Wilhite, Briley Ferguson. I mean, and I could go on and on and on. Younger guys, Donovan Hardaway's a junior. He's going to be a great captain for us next year. So we've really seen leadership develop.
Friday night, you'll kick off the season at Bentonville High School. What can we expect to see?
We're very familiar with those guys. You know, we've seen them in team camps. So they're a lot like us. They got some big boys and a lot of talent, and it'll be a great test for us.
Last but not least, how was your summer?
Busy. Did we have a summer? No, it was great. We fit in some good vacation and some time with the family, and then also we were able to get a lot of work done with the team, so it was great.
That's good. That was 100 Yards with head coach Josh Blankenship. The Tigers kick off their season Friday night at Bentonville High School. Kickoff is set for 7 on Arrowvision.
Welcome back to Bentonville, Arkansas. Halftime score, Bentonville 21, Broken Arrow 17. I'm Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital, Madison Dildine down on the sidelines for us. She's going to be checking in on the happenings of the defense after we get this first kind of segment of football out of the way here. But Spav, the Tigers will start off, the Broken Arrow Tigers will start off the half by kicking it away to Bentonville, and it's been the big plays that have hurt them. How do they avoid that in the second half?
Good question. I think
I threw Spav a curveball there.
Yeah, a lot of it is to keep the routes underneath. Quit trying to put so much pressure, with press coverage, and just lay back, fit the run well, keep our emotions intact, okay, and keep the high effort and just really play good, sound football. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to blitz. You don't have to do anything. Just keep everything underneath and fit the run, and you'll be sound. Because they're not doing anything formation-wise that's going to throw things off.
The first step might be don't kick it to C.J. Brown, and they did not. The ball holds up at the 12-yard line, and ushered out of bounds is Ficklin up the near side around the 21-yard line. Hunter Martins put the lob wedge spin on that ball.
That's twice.
It just stopped there on the sideline, or near the sideline.
And that kid's a good running back, too. And so they have some threats back there.
Ficklin in the first half carried 11 times for 44 yards, so he was decently well contained.
Yes, he was.
But it was those big chunk pass plays.
That's it. The big plays killed us.
38 yards per completion for Bentonville in that first half.
Right.
Trips left on the wide side. 1st and 10. Nye looking left. It's deflected, and it is nearly intercepted. But it falls safely to the turf.
Well, that would have been awesome. We needed that.
That was Cole Lamont that got that big left paw on the ball there.
That's interesting that they threw the ball like that on first down, back in their end. That's not a high percentage pass.
I'm trying to think of which combo route that was there. I think that was just a little
trips. It was trips route, throwing a slant.
I think that middle receiver was trying to just sit down in the middle there. Handoff up the middle. Not a lot of room that time. The tackle made. That was Dietrich Moore who led the way. Helped out by Sterling Condry, I believe. That brings up 3rd down and 10. And that was the fit by the linebackers that you were talking about, Spav.
That's what we need to do. Let's see, we're pressing the coverage right now. We got to I don't know why we do that. We got to get off of that.
Trips left, including the tight end. Here comes pressure. It's lobbed to the near side. Caught by the running back on the screen. Out to the 25. First down yardage across the 30. And then brought down around the 38-yard line. That took forever to develop, but Josh Ficklin was able to eventually pop out and catch the screen pass, and he gets the first down.
Kid's a good running back. Let's see, he got Trips up at the field now.
1st and 10. Nye wants to throw, looking deep over the left side. It's up in the air, and it is caught. No, incomplete. Broken up by the Tigers at the 32-yard line. Who was that?
Well, that was number 2 of the Trips.
Yeah, that was Brown.
That was that smoke and go again.
Yep, we think that might be Elisha Wilson that broke up the play. Also in the area was Caden Jones. 2nd down and 10. And there's a false start from the Bentonville front line.
They're liking the Trips formation this half. They must have found something. I'm not sure. They're wanting to tie up all of our defenders there, get them in close quarters.
That was John Brandenburg, just a sophomore at right guard. 8 of the 11 offensive starters are underclassmen for Bentonville. C.J. Brown, a junior, has led the way with 2 touchdown catches in the first half. 2nd and 15 now. Trips to the field side again. Tight end right. Handoff to Ficklin up the middle. Makes a man miss out past the 35. Got about 5 back. Brings up 3rd down and 10 on the stop that time for the Broken Arrow Tigers with Briley Ferguson. That's a name we haven't heard a lot tonight, but we will over the course of this season.
Yes.
Briley Ferguson is going to be one of those leaders on that defensive front all year.
Okay, third basically 10, so let's...
Q Brown splits out left. C.J. Brown split out right. 2 slot guys in there as well. Here's the snap on 3rd and 9. Nye under pressure now, scrambling left. He's got a bunch of space. Across midfield into Broken Arrow territory. He'll scamper out of bounds around the 39. And that was a smart decision from Carter Nye, the quarterback for Bentonville that time.
Lost containment to the field. We got to be careful now. Come on now.
1st and 10 now from the Broken Arrow 39. Bentonville leading 21-17, season opener. Broken Arrow might have got into the neutral zone that time. That is the initial call. Hard count will make it 1st and 5.
So they're in the red zone now. So
it's John Brohl that jumped into the neutral zone there. 5th penalty against the Tigers in this game. Just 2 against Bentonville. I tell you what, Broken Arrow has outgained Bentonville by more than 60 yards. Had a bunch more first downs, yet it's Bentonville leading, and there's Ficklin around the end, inside the 15, hit from behind and brought down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal Bentonville from the Broken Arrow 7-yard line. Oh, but we have a flag all the way back at the 30.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully it's on the...
That's right at the 1st down marker. If that's a hold, that would essentially make it 1st and 10 again back at the 39.
He just outran the edge.
He sure did.
I mean, that was he just outran an unblocked guy.
Well, they're taking the ball up towards the goal line.
Oh, so it's against us?
Did he say a block in the back against the defense?
Something like that. I think he did.
That was the block in the back hand signal, certainly.
I'm getting a lot of static in mine.
Yeah.
Boy, that's
something going on with our sound system here. We'll see if we can't start to get that worked out here before too long. 9:50 to play in the 3rd quarter. Hand out to Ficklin. Not a whole lot of room up the middle.
Good. They're just trying to run the lead play there, and we did a really good job fitting that thing. We actually beat them at the line of scrimmage.
That brings up 2nd and goal from the 7. 2.5 minutes gone by here in the 3rd quarter. Field goal would make it a 7-point game. Touchdown would put Bentonville up by 2 scores. Moving left to right, ball on the right hash. One receiver left, one right. That's C.J. Brown close to the formation right side. And I think C.J. Brown was supposed to be on the other side. The coaches were not happy, and he started to jog to the other side of the formation as that timeout was taken. Well, it's the first timeout of the half taken by either team, and so Bentonville is forced to spend one early. If this game stays close, that could turn out to be big down the road.
We need something to happen right here. I mean, we need something to go positive. Because they're beating us on the edge. They're just, they're running the ball on us right now, which is, I don't like to see that.
Defensively, the Tigers have put themselves in a couple of decent spots here. You had them at 3rd and 10 at one point, 3rd and 9 on a second point, so you've given up 2 first downs on 3rd and 9 or more on this drive.
Yeah, that's
on
a good point.
those big chunk plays.
Yes.
So it continues, Pat, to be big chunk plays that have hurt the Tigers in this
Right.
game.
The quarterback takes off, scrambles out. There's a lot of things that are where we lose contain. Again, it's like what Coach Blankenship's saying is we're shooting ourselves in the foot is what it basically amounts to. I mean, you can't defend the edge and then get outrun around the corner.
2nd and goal from the 7.
Now, see, I can see pressing the coverage now because they're down inside the 10-yard line. They're in the 6-yard line.
Ficklin in the pistol. They're going to throw it. Dump it off to Ficklin. He's open at the 5, and he dives into the end zone for the score.
That was a pretty good play, actually.
Yeah, they schemed that up well.
Yeah, they did. Running, putting formation to field and getting the back on his flare screen into the boundary.
And it looked like the tight end that was on the right side ran a drag, basically just cleared out all that space to dump in the ball.
Exactly. Gave it one-on-one. Got to get a backer out there. We didn't get the backer out there. And
27-17. PAT on its way. And it's off the scoreboard to make it 28-17 with 9:07 to play here in the 3rd. Well,
we got to respond. I mean, how are we going to act to adversity? I mean, how are the players acting on the sidelines? What is their thought process? We've got to change that. We've got to get things going right now. And how do we do that? Have a good offensive series right here. Because they took the opening second half kickoff and scored. How many plays was that? Did you?
That was, I'll tell you, 9 plays for 80 yards in 2 minutes and 51 seconds. The last 4, so after that opening punt, 3-and-out punt for Bentonville, last 4 drives have ended in touchdowns.
Yes. And you know what's crazy is we've ran 52 plays, and even with that long series there, they have a total of 26 plays. How crazy is that? 52 plays to their 26. I mean, we've run twice as many plays as they have.
Kickoff will be caught at the 1-yard line for Broken Arrow. Straight across the 20 to the 25 and brought down around the 26-yard line that time.
He was close to breaking that thing.
Tigers with decent starting field position here.
Now let's get back and run into football. Let's focus on what we do best. They're keeping all routes underneath. Nice.
Bentonville jumped in the neutral zone.
We're playing with those double tight end again, those Y-offs, which they're off the line of scrimmage. Therefore, they can move around. One can move to a fullback position or a wing,
Tight end left. Y end left. Barnett in the slot. Here's the snap. Handoff on 1st and 5. No room to work that time for Jones. He got maybe a yard. Check that. That was Harris on the tote that time.
Just running the zone play there, and then we just.
8:40 remaining, third quarter. 11-point game. One receiver to either side this time on 2nd and 4. Snap a little high, but caught.
Yeah, cut it under. Well, they're doing a good job on the edge now. We've got
a lot of excitement from that defensive front right now for Bentonville, and they're, you mentioned this at some point in the second quarter, Spav, but after that first quarter, Bentonville really started to gain an advantage at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football.
Well, now we're starting to hit the white zone because we're having trouble with the inside zone. But the problem is those linebackers are making plays in there. We're not getting the edge there like we did before.
3-man front for Bentonville. 2 tight ends right. Here's the snap. Zipped over the middle, and it is incomplete. But a flag comes flying in from the back judge. That'll be pass interference against the Bentonville Tigers. Came over the back of Cade Matthews, who is shaken up a little bit as he jogs back over to the far sideline.
Yeah, that was interference, but it was a good ball. That was a good ball, good play.
Good timing, too.
Guy just interfered us with the ball. And
Christian Farrow flag there. He was less than pleased.
That was a good call because the other official wasn't going to throw his flag.
2 receivers right, tight end right on 1st and 10 from the Broken Arrow 47. Handoff up the middle, breaking a tackle. Now Harris over the left side, and he's got space inside the 30. It's a foot race to the 20, 10, 5.
Touchdown.
He is. No call yet. Yeah. He's in. Touchdown, Tigers. Kyrie Harris started that over the right side, cut it back left, and won the foot race to the near pylon.
What a sweet play. I tell you what basically happened. They were running they had 3-2. They had one of the linebackers blitzed up the middle there, and they went to the one backer that was off, and they found a little seam there, and then he cut that thing back for a touchdown. What a great run. Great read. Great play.
The back judge was on the end zone line, and then the field judge coming up the near side, they kind of had to catch up to each other to confer there for a moment, but they say he got in, and that's a big answer to pull it back within a one-touchdown game here. 28-23 PAT. No, they'll go for 2 here to try to make it a 3-point game. Owen Jones takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, dumps it back over the middle, and it's caught by McMillan for the 2-point conversion. That makes it a 3-point game, 28-25.
Nice play. Love it.
We talked a little bit, Spav, before the game with Jones in particular at quarterback. Younger guy, just a sophomore, trying to limit some things, to simplify it for him a little bit. And with those bootlegs like that, you basically make an easy read. You look at that first tight end in the flat, he's not there, bring it back over the middle. If that read's not there, you just tuck it and run. But that second read was there, and that was a nice patient look there from Jones.
That's what I thought. I thought he was very patient on that bootleg reads. Some of those can be pretty complicated, especially when you have a serious rush on you. But they didn't rush us, and he had plenty of time. He was patient and did a great job.
28-25 Bentonville. Ball will be teed up at the Broken Arrow 40. The wind not a factor this evening. Flags laying absolutely still across and to our left on the northeast corner of the field.
Yeah, there's not a breeze anywhere, is there?
The kick is away. It's a wobbly kick that's going to bounce up the near side and out of bounds around the 15-yard line. That'll give it to Bentonville at the 35-yard line.
Man, we can't do that.
Kickoffs have been a little bit of a struggle so far.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm not so bad. I'm not saying that's not that bad of an idea. I don't want to
just keep it away. Yeah, I mean, and with those squibs, I mean, you're going to get some bad bounces and it's going to go out.
I know. I've done that before. A long time ago, I played Booker T. Washington. They had R.W. McQuarters.
I would not suggest kicking to R.W. McQuarters in any case.
No, and I'm trying to think of the other tailback that ended up playing for the Green Bay Packers. But Those two were good, and everything we did was just kick it out.
Yeah, RW's kid is on the roster at Oklahoma State this year.
My deal is just get the ball on 35.
I did a baseball game at Western Illinois not this last season, but the year before. Thurman Thomas's kid was on that Western Illinois team. He was a redshirt freshman. Handoff up the middle, bouncing it out the left side, and undercut at the 42-yard line. Gain of about 7 on the play.
Well, we stopped the play. I can't understand where's our edge player? He bounced it. We clogged it. He bounced it. We didn't have an edge player there.
That was Elisha Wilson on the tackle. Pass to the near side. It's caught at the 41, and he's wrapped up for a loss. Good pursuit to the ball that time. Perhaps the best of the day for the Broken Arrow defense. A couple of guys out there. That was Luke Kuhn on the catch. He had the big 77-yarder to open the scoring for Bentonville. Brings up 3rd down and 4. Oh, here's a big chance for this Broken Arrow defense, Pat.
Yes, we need this 3 and out right now. We need a great play here.
Can you find a way to get some pressure up front? You got it early in the game in that first quarter, not so much in the second and third so far.
Yeah, they're going back to the two backs. Got a fullback and a tailback in there.
Watch out for C.J. Brown in the slot left side. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Ficklin out to the 45. He's close, and it looks like he's got the first down out near the 46-yard line. Needed 5. He got 5.5.
Yeah, just running the lead play there. We got to fit those better. We got to fit those lead plays. That's why I was always a believer in these first games is fit the run solid, keep routes underneath.
First down and 10. Bentonville rolling to his left, wants to throw it deep. There's coverage there, and it is incomplete, too long. Intended for, like,
well, that wasn't really, I don't think that was really that good of a play because they bootleg out. They don't have that flat player there now.
Karsten Pate was the intended receiver that time.
To me, when you run a bootleg, you got to be ready to throw with your third step. And he didn't have a flat player, so it forced him out of the pocket, and he couldn't get his shoulders turned.
Pitch left on the toss sweep. Not a lot of room. Now bouncing it back to the near side. Ficklin wrapped up and then gang tackled back at the 41-yard line. They'll give him the 42 on the forward progress. But that brings up 3rd and long. And Spav, this is where on that last drive for Bentonville, the Tigers couldn't get off the field on 3rd and long a couple of times. You got to get off the field here.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great play right there defensively because, you know, we stuffed the play and then we didn't allow him to bounce out and make more yardage. We contained it. Now, we're bringing a lot of people on the line of scrimmage right now, so there's going to be some pressure.
3rd down and 14. Rolling to his left is Nye. He's under pressure. Launches it down the field into coverage, and it is intercepted at the 33-yard line. Broken Arrow has the football.
Great job. Great job.
Jalen Franklin with the interception for the Tigers.
Jalen's back. What a great play by Jalen. We needed that. We needed that.
Well,
that was better than a punt.
And it started with the pressure up front. You were
Absolutely.
able to get some
we
pressure
had that
in his
penetration.
face. He had to throw off of his back foot, floated up in the air, and then Franklin with good coverage to go up and get the ball.
Well, we mugged everybody up and pretended like we were going to blitz 8, and we only rushed 4.
Broken Arrow can take the lead with a touchdown on this drive. Handoff, left side. Nice. That's Jones with it, looking for space at the 40. Now jukes a man back out to the 42-yard line, and that's good for a first down on the gain of about a dozen. They give him the 43. Solid gain to start the drive.
Yeah, just don't stop your feet. He's too good of an athlete to stop his feet. Just make a cut and make it solid because they're moving, and you're going to break an arm tackle.
1st and 10 from the Broken Arrow 43. That's Jones straight up the middle. Not as much room that time. He still got 3 out to the 46-yard line.
It wasn't a bad play. The linebacker almost overran it, so it wasn't really that bad of a play. He could have broke that thing pretty good if that backer didn't make a good tackle.
Scarborough in at running back. 2 receivers right, 1 left. The tight end split left is Wilhite. Scarborough now in the pistol. It's Owen Jones at quarterback. There's a snap. Fake the handoff. Jones rolling right. Wanted to dump it off. Now zings it up the far side. It's tipped and intercepted through the hands of Barnett. Now running up the far sideline is the Bentonville defense. Inside the Tiger 30. Now to the 20, and that will go for a pick 6.
Oh, man.
TJ Tomesco, the senior defensive back, caught the tipped ball and took it to the house.
But I mean, those are some things that happen, but their defense, that was a good ball, good throw. We just didn't make the catch, and bad things happen.
Tomesco couldn't have been in a better spot to, he was just there. It was like a gift from heaven, just fell right into his hands.
Exactly.
We have some boos raining down. Do we have a flag come in somewhere that I'm unaware of? And the question is, was it during the play? We've got a hold during the play. That will wipe off the score, and that is huge.
Yeah.
The hold came at the 20-yard line, so it will be Bentonville football 1st and 10 from the Broken Arrow 30.
I never saw that flag. Did you?
No.
Was it on the far side?
The good news is I'm getting reports that we're sounding better and better in terms of the technical stuff. So good work, everybody, trying to teamwork together and get that piece back to where it made some more sense here.
Nice. Okay, come on, D.
Here's a snap, handoff right side.
Oh, no, you can't come under.
Passing out to the 30, now to the 20. First down yardage inside the 10. He's hit hard.
Oh, that was us.
Oh, we got a late flag. We got a lot of extraterrestrial activities. This maybe a Tiger that came and got in there late, and then the students getting a little close on the sideline down there as well. If it's a penalty on the Tigers, that'll move it inside the 5. He's marked down at the 7. It'll be 1st and goal, unless it happens to go the other direction. Elisha Wilson hobbling a little bit as he jogs off the far sideline.
That was us there, though. He bounces it, and our edge guy comes underneath and gets pinned. We gave them the edge. We cannot do that.
Personal foul on Franklin, who had the big interception a moment ago. That'll make it 1st and goal from inside the 5-yard line. 4:06 to play here in the third quarter. In what has been quite a tense third quarter so far. Pretty back and forth.
Yeah. Back in the 2 backs now.
I formation, tight end left. Here's the snap. Handoff over the right side. Pushing towards the end zone, and he's in. Ficklin able to just kind of dance his way through the middle of that line and get into the end zone for a score. That extends the lead back to 2 scores for Bentonville, 34-25.
Okay, we've got to respond here offensively.
Ficklin's starting to pile up some numbers now. 20 carries for 112 yards and a score. He's averaging a little more than 5.5 a carry. Plenty of time, though. 3:48 in the third quarter. This PAT would make it a 10-point game. The kick is on its way. It's straight through, and it's good. (35-25). Bentonville on top. 3:48 remaining here in this third quarter. Let's bring back in our third member of the broadcast team tonight, Madison Dildine, down on the sidelines. Madison, what do you have for us?
Blankenship earlier this week, and he said that trust is so critical. He said whenever you trust them, you can lean on them more so that you know what's going on behind the scenes, and they can be a voice for you whenever you're trying to emphasize things for the whole group, which has been very evident on the sidelines tonight. Adam?
Thanks, Madison. And that leadership that she's talking about, Spav, is going to be big down the stretch here because you're down 10 most of the way through this third quarter. You got to find a way to bounce back and keep fighting and give yourself a chance at the end of the game.
That's right. They're hanging on to the football. They're keeping the football, dictating everything to us offensively and defensively. So we're going to have to do something about that. We have to go back when we did the first half to where we were really dictating to them.
The kick is away. It's a short kick on the 25, across the 30, still pushing forward, out past the 35, and down around the 36, maybe the 37-yard line.
Good job. Good field position now.
That was Joshua Wilhite that got in the middle of that scrum with the football and just kept moving forward somehow.
I know.
I'm not entirely sure he didn't just get lifted off the ground by the covering guys and just kept getting pushed forward anyway.
He's a tough kid, isn't he?
We'll see if the Tigers can find him once or twice on this drive. We've seen a tight end screen to him earlier in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And Broken Arrow's done a nice job getting a bunch of guys involved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rushers have carried the football. 7 guys have caught a pass. So and that's a lot of guys who have carried the rock in one way or another in this game. Nate Jones back at tailback. Owen Jones at quarterback. Tight end to either side, 1 receiver to either side. Handoff straight up the middle. Jones bottled up. Still pushing forward. They'll mark him down at the 39.
We're just not getting that push like we did the first half. And it's not bad having 3 yards there, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we're not creating that new line of scrimmage like we did.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of contact at the line of scrimmage, and these Broken Arrow backs have been good enough to bounce off and make something out of it, but you'd like to see them get touched for the first time 2 or 3 yards up the field.
But those backers that they have are playing downhill really fast.
Trying to cut it up the middle. Jones spins off of a tackle, breaks another, and can he stay on his feet? Yes, he can. First down yardage to the 50. Breaks another tackle into Bentonville territory and knocked forward down around the 42-yard line.
Great job. God,
like
what a good run.
Got a flat tire. He lost a shoe there. Trying to put it back down. I think that's Marek.
I tell you what, he didn't have anything, and he bounced it back, and he made this yardage. That young man did it himself.
Check that. That was the center Fernandez that lost his shoe. And again, that's a couple that we've seen broken by Jones where he just spins off of a couple of guys and takes off for 12 or 15 yards. Player down for Bentonville. He might be cramping up as we hear the officials call for a water break.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not a bad idea. And we mentioned it's not. We've seen hotter August nights to play high school football, but just because it's not 100 degrees outside doesn't mean you're not losing a lot of water.
No, and you have a tendency, like I've said before, to not drink as much water when the temperature is right. The colder it is, you drink less.
.246 to play here in the third quarter. 35-25 the score. Broken Arrow has outgained Bentonville by nearly 100 yards in this game. The Tigers have run it for 244 and passed it for 161. They've got 8 more first downs than Bentonville. Broken Arrow is a highly efficient 8 for 11 on third down, but Bentonville is 5 for 7. The Tigers have run nearly twice as many plays, but it's been those chunk plays for Bentonville as they're averaging more than 9 yards per play and more than 25 yards per completed pass.
But we've only ran 8 plays this half so far. And that's different. They've ran like 17. So we've got to control the ball right here and keep it doing. This is what I'm seeing now is keeping them off balance and doing what we did the first half. A very wide split here to the field.
Tight end to either side in the pistol. Hand off up the middle.
Upfield.
Trying to cut it up. That's Scarborough for a gain of about 3 down to the 38.
That young man's going to be really good. He's got to learn to go north and south a little quicker. Once he sees that opening, then he needs to get up north or south really quickly.
2 receivers right, 1 left, tight end right. And out to Scarborough again. Bouncing it outside with some space to the 35. Cut down around the 32, maybe the 33. It'll bring up third down and short, but another nice run.
Well, our pull got tied up. We had a pull, got tied up, and we didn't have room for the back to run, so he bounced it and made some good yardage.
Temesco with the tackle to save the first down. Bunch receivers right on third down and short. Handoff straight up the middle. Scarborough again. He's chopped down, very close to the first down. Boy, that spot from here looks like it might be a tad short.
Oh, really? God, I thought he made it.
It's going to be fourth down from where they spotted it. Fourth and inches. They might have a measurement here. Yeah, they're going to measure. But yeah, down 10, minute 35.
Oh, yeah.
you're at the opponent's 32-yard line. There's really no reason not to go for this.
Oh,
here.
Absolutely. You're right. Absolutely. I mean, I don't even know if it's because you're down. This is 4-down territory.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about the points or anything.
Simply from where you are on the field.
Yeah, because like we said, you get inside the red zone, inside the 40 here. You know, the key factor is touchdowns.
You take out the sacks, Spav, and the Tigers are averaging 6 yards a carry. So,
right.
You know, theoretically, you can be fairly confident you can pick up the 4th down and inches here.
But we got to utilize our formations a little more, and and run the same plays. I mean, just offensively, we just kind of need to tweak our formations around so we can meet the needs of what we need to do to keep the ball in our hands.
Nate Jones back in the game at tailback, and he's probably the sturdiest back that the Tigers have. Can get up and run downhill a little bit better. Now they go under center. Here's the snap. Quarterback sneak, and that's enough to get the 1st down.
And that's really good. The first time we ran to the line very quickly, and then the quarterback came up. That's timing. That takes timing, and we ran it flawlessly.
Well, if your timing's off in that situation, you're moving yourself back 5 yards
Absolutely.
too. So you better make sure you get it right.
That's why that was a good play.
Wanting to throw on 1st and 10. Jones looking deep over the left side for Matthews. He turns and he can't quite find it. It's incomplete up the near sideline. Brings up 2nd down and 10 from the Bentonville 30.
And that was a good play to take a shot right there.
Not only to take a shot, if he could have found that just a little bit quicker, there's a pretty good chance they complete the pass.
Well, we've been taking that lone receiver all the way out here. We've been having a wide split here into the field and then running everything into the boundary.
They got one-on-one on Matthews again. Instead, they'll hand it off left side. Not a lot of room for Jones. Gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, our line's getting defeated right now. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job. That's our wide zone. We're good at that stuff, and they're really stretching it out, keeping containment.
Does that 3-down lineman, so you got the 4 backs, does that make it easier to cover that outside zone?
See how their safeties are coming down? See, we got wide splits. They're manning up, and they're playing the safeties down in the run game as well. So, they have a lot of people to deal with the run.
2 tight ends right. Here's a snap. Looking left. Immediately under pressure. Now scrambling. Jones tucks it. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. Oh, boy. No, they mark him at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th down and 10. That pressure came up the middle, and Jones could have scrambled, I think, right and found a little more space and bought a little more time, but decided to tuck it instead. That might run out the 3rd quarter clock. We're down to 6 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's
Seems
17
like a good
on
time
the clock.
to let it run out and talk things over before the 4th down and 10 here. 35-25, Bentonville leading Broken Arrow as we head to the final 12 minutes of play. We'll take a break, flip the field around, see how this thing turns out when we come back. This is Broken Arrow Football on ArrowVision.
Right now, get $200 from TTCU Federal Credit Union when you open a new checking account with direct deposit. What would you buy with $200?
Cars, race cars, my own apartment, 100 coloring books, and a puppy.
Or maybe some groceries and a tank of gas. $200 for whatever works for you from TTCU, because life is better in balance.
Welcome back.
First down. We got a first down.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Broken Arrow Tiger football here on Arrow Vision. 35-25 the score. The Tigers have just come out and gotten a first down. And now they head it off left side. That's Scarborough bouncing it outside to the 15. Breaks another tackle and now diving forward. And he's pushed out of bounds around the 11-yard line or so. They'll give him the 10. That's very close to a first down. .30 seconds into the fourth quarter. The Tigers with a big play to convert. Now they face 2nd and 2. Here's the snap. Handoff left side. Scarborough again. First down yardage inside the 5. Down to the 4-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and goal. We'll get Spav hooked back up here in just a second and get things back up and rolling. Now our crowd mic's down. Well, we got all sorts of stuff going on up here, but we got a man down on the field as well. Let's take a short break. This is Broken Arrow Football on Arrow Vision.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Uses this one, right?
Back here in Bentonville, Nate Jones into the end zone for a touchdown. That'll make it a one-possession game again with 11:15 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Tigers continue to push, continue to fight, and stay in this ball game, but you got to get stops on the other end to boot. And we've got Spav back here as the PAT is up and good, and it's just a 3-point game, just like that, Spav. We'll all figure it out together. We will all get there at the same time, one way or the other, as we continue to work through this thing.
Well, good thing people are watching it.
That does help.
Yeah.
All right, 11:15 to play. Broken Arrow has just scored to pull within 3. We got our crowd mic back. We're gonna cord spaghetti this thing back together one way or the other at this point. Spav, I've gotten through a lot worse. One time I did a game with a cell phone and an away roster in Chelsea, Oklahoma, and that was all I had at my disposal. So we got enough stuff up here. We get it figured out. The problem is we're gonna have to revert to hand signals with Jeremy Bryan, our spotter, to figure out what he's trying to tell us. There's a squib kick up the middle. This could get interesting. It was bobbled a little bit, but Bentonville falls on it at the 32. That's kind of what you're looking though. So that was the best executed squib kick we've seen tonight.
To number 1 and number 2. I would not do that at all.
Well, they avoided it on that one. 11:14 to play. (35-32) Bentonville on top. And Spav, we've seen good plays from this Broken Arrow defense.
Absolutely.
What we've not seen is getting off the field on third down. Can they find a way to do that on this drive? Rolling to his left, Nye zips it to the near side. It is juggled and broken up, incomplete. Excellent play by Donovan Hardaway to get a hand in there and deflect that off.
Made him throw quick, had good pressure. Good vertical pressure. I like the vertical pressure, what they did then. And just, the quarterback has to make a quick decision.
Second down. Looks like a little handoff action up the middle. He's bottled up. Nowhere to go. It's a loss of about a yard.
All right, that was a good defensive play right there. I know we're having issues, so
10:46 to play. 3-point game. It's third down and 9. And another big chance for Broken Arrow. Third and long has been a problem over the course of this second half for the Tiger defense. Can they find a way to get a stop here? Trying to get a guy off the field. We got a whistle and a timeout for Broken Arrow. I think Coach Blankenship was getting nervous about potentially Bentonville snapping the ball there with that 12th guy in between the lines.
Well, they're running trips, and you know what they do out of trips. That's that smoke and go and all that stuff. So we've got to really be alert on that, and it's – and we're pressing the coverage, so it's going to be tough to defend sometimes.
Well, what do you think? If you're coaching defense here, Spav, you just saw a look at what Bentonville initially came out with on 3rd and 9. You weren't quite set with your personnel, so are you expecting something similar in terms of formation for Bentonville here?
Yeah, I think they like that trips. But they spread the trips. It wasn't a bunch trips or anything. They spread it, and so they're going to make something happen in the throwing game. The ball's in the middle, so they've spread the formation here. Now we're playing off a little bit with the corner, which is good. So we're bringing 3. We're bringing pressure.
Here's
right there up the middle.
Straight up the
Very
middle.
Good.
Breaks out of it, launches one down the field, and he's got a man, and it's caught at the 25-yard line.
You got to be kidding me.
C.J. Brown will go to the house for a touchdown. C.J. Brown having an absolutely monstrous
That quarterback got hit, spun off, and just threw it before he got hit again. I mean, wow.
You had him right where you wanted him.
Exactly.
A 68-yard pass. C.J. Brown, 3 catches for 127 yards. They have all gone for touchdowns.
Man, we've got to quit giving up big plays. That's just too many big plays in a half.
Kick on the way. And the PAT is good. That extends the lead back to 10. I guess on the bright side, they scored so quick that there's still plenty of time left.
We got 10:21 left.
Got an absolute shootout in Bentonville, though, with 10:21 remaining. All right, we'll take a short break. Back with more in just a moment. This is Broken Arrow Tiger football on Arrow Vision.
Recently, you've had to put your life on hold, and we're with you in this. At Ascension St. John, we're now open for appointments, and we are fully prepared for your safety and our care. As we open our doors again, our doctors, nurses, and care teams will continue to wear personal protective equipment. We've taken even more steps to clean and stringently disinfect all areas. We will maintain distancing in our waiting rooms and will continue to limit visitors. And we will still screen all staff to protect their health and yours. Our emergency rooms are here 24/7. Please do not delay care. We're still delivering babies and performing surgeries. And we're open for your appointments, from specialists and surgical care to routine care and health screenings. Ask us about virtual visits. Ascension St. John continues to care for you, as we have been for
Welcome back
almost
to
a century.
Bentonville, Arkansas. Adam Hildebrand alongside Steve Spavital. Madison Dildine on the sidelines. The kick is away and it goes 8 yards deep, and Broken Arrow will have it 1st and 10 on its own 20-yard line with 10:21 to play, trailing by 10. Spav, that's enough time.
Oh, we
that
got
you,
plenty
you
of time.
don't have to get out of your element here offensively.
Well, you don't want to anyway in this first ball game of the year. You do that, you're just going to create turnovers, or you're going to just have bad plays, lost yardage. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen. Just play your game. Play your game. We have seen that when we play our game, we can score pretty quickly. We have the running backs, we have the receivers, we have the line, the quarterback. We can make this happen.
1st and 10 from the 20. Tight end motion to the right side from Will Hyde, makes it a trips formation. They hand it to Barnett on the end around reverse. He gets around the corner now, bowls over a man out near the first down. Yeah, he got a dozen on that play. There was a man to meet him at the line of scrimmage.
That was a good play, wasn't it?
Miss. Speed and space. Barnett may have stayed on the sideline after that play. Still 2 receivers in the game, 1 to either side, now 2 tight ends. Who's at a tailback? That is Kyrie Harris. Around the left end, he's got space across the 40, steps out of a tackle, and he's in another foot race into Bentonville territory at the 30, breaks through another tackle and is hit from behind down at the 26-yard line.
See, that's what I'm saying. That was the wide zone there. We can run the football. Just run our stuff. That's great. That is great what we're doing right now.
Bentonville player down at the 45-yard line of Broken Arrow. He's kind of pounding the ground with his fist. I think he might be cramping up. Harris is carving out a nice game for himself. That's now 6 carries for, we're going to have to total that up. He might be over the 100-yard mark now. Nate Jones over 100 yards as well. That was 41 yards, so yeah, Harris has just become the Tigers' leading rusher at 109 yards on the night. 200-yard backs. Alan Scarborough not far behind him at 70 as the Tigers have rushed for more than 300 as a team.
I mean, I love it. I love it. And we almost have 500 yards of offense. 500 yards.
And down 10.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
Let's go down to the sidelines and Madison Dildine. Madison, what's the vibe that you're getting down there right now?
Obviously, they have faced adversity like we talked about earlier, but I mean, the leadership is still showing and they're holding each other accountable, which is all you can ask for.
That's right.
Sounds like not a bad mental state on the sideline down there, even though the backs are against the wall a little bit. Thank you, Madison.
Yeah,
Coming off under his own power is Michael Anderson, a senior defender. 10:03 to play. Broken Arrow down to the Bentonville 27-yard line. It seems like all you need is one stop, and you're going to give yourself a chance to win this thing.
I know. I mean, basically what you think you'd get in these first few games is 3 and outs. You got to get some 3 and outs, but definitely we're not getting that, and they're not getting them either. So, I mean, this is 500 yards of offense that we have to their almost 400.
And both teams converting third downs at a high percentage. Ooh, here's a whole lot of room for Bates over the right side, inside the 10 to the 5, and he's hit forward.
Nice.
Down around the 3-yard line. Great read for the quarterback Bates to keep the football, and he gets it down all the way to the 3.
God, that's great. Look how quick we scored. I mean, or we hadn't scored, but we're going to.
That may change here. Handoff right side, pushing forwards. Harris is in for the touchdown. His third of the day. The Tigers are back within a score again with 9:38 to go. This might get big-time shootout
game.
real quick
This
here.
is a crazy game, isn't it?
Getting very much Santa Fe vibes from last year, Spav. That
Yes,
game went back
I know. That was crazy. I mean, the problem is we scored too fast, and we're down by 3.
PAT unit is on, snap back, a little low, kick is away, and it is good. So it's just a 3-point game again. Harris, 7 carries, 112 yards, and 3 scores.
I know. If we can get a good stop here, or turnover or something, we've got to really change our thinking now. Defense is having a lot of adversity in there. They're not having any confidence in themselves, and we need to change that right now. Our coaches need to just get after them, not in a bad way. See, when you're behind, you have to be the kid's best friend. When you're ahead, you're their worst enemy. I mean, that's a coaching philosophy. So we're behind, so let's motivate these kids. Let's change their thoughts.
Seems like the secondary in particular could use a shot of confidence right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some chunk plays where even that last one, pressure on the quarterback, but C.J. Brown's been able to get behind him. Here's the squib up the far side, caught at the 30, room across the 40, and he lost the football, or did he? Oh, I think it was a shadow. I thought he had dropped the football.
I thought he did too.
But in either case, he's down at the 46-yard line, but good field position for Bentonville.
Yeah.
Boy, that from our angle, I saw it must have been a shadow of another arm, and I thought that was the football hitting the turf.
That's interesting, doing squib. I haven't seen that often. And I like what they're doing, but I always used to do those high on sides, where you kick it real high, and then they either got to fair catch it or get drilled.
Tell you what, the tailback, Josh Ficklin, has it almost looks like a gold-plated backplate because his jersey is up high, and as he jogs out, the light is shimmering off of it back up here into our booth. 1st and 10, Bentonville from its own 46. Bentonville leading by 3. Handoff to Ficklin, right side. Hit from behind. He falls forward for a gain of 4 out near midfield.
See, they're starting to run the wide zone too, pretty effectively.
Ficklin a little slow to get up. And he'll come off the field.
Good. Let's
keep
keep
get a
him
number
off.
on that new tailback. They've only had 2 other guys carry the ball. One of them was the quarterback, Carter. I think that's Christian Battles in there. Here's a snap. They're going to throw it. Nye looking left, under pressure, scrambling to his right, trying to get away.
Contain.
He gets rid of the football up the far side.
Nice contain.
Incomplete, and the Tigers have a defender trying to point something out. I think he was trying to fight for
well, there's no receiver
grounding
in the area.
Did pass the line of scrimmage. Does being out of the tackle box apply in high school?
Well, you
does.
still have to have a receiver in the area.
Okay. .8:45 to play. 3rd down and 6. Another 3rd down opportunity for this Tiger defense. But that was some odd-looking motion. Quick throw over the left side. It is incomplete.
Good.
Broken up on the near side. Coming in to knock that ball away.
Come on, baby.
I think that was Scarborough.
That's it. Okay, they're punting. Good. They're going to try to knock us deep.
Have we seen the punt team today?
No,
I don't think
no.
we have. I'm not sure we have for either team.
No. Well, look how much yards.
No,
each
they
team.
did. They punted out of their own end zone.
Oh, that's right.
Very early on
They
in
did.
the game.
They did. The first drive.
I mean,
Wasn't it?
back when we still had daylight to play with at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Punting from midfield this time. Snap is a good one. Not a lot of pressure. The kick is away. It is a high, wobbly kick that's caught at the 19-yard line. A fair catch made. So the Tigers don't have great field position, but they do have the football
Good
with
job.
a chance to go take the lead, and still an eternity left on this 4th quarter clock.
That's right. We got 8
to
minutes. Let's go. Doing good. We needed that stop desperately.
take
now,
a look here
if
to
we
confirm.
continue with that last drive, what we need to do this drive, it's going to be really good.
That's just the second stop since the initial drive of the game that the Tiger defense has gotten. The other one was that interception that ended up in another interception for Bentonville.
Right.
In the second 3 and out in the game for either team. 1st and 10 from the 19. Fake handoff. Over the left side.
Good. 5, 6
Drug down
yards.
for about a 6-yard gain. That was Cooper Bates on the carry. They gave him 5 out to the 25.
Good. Very good. Just
Bates,
keep the ball on the ground. Be select. Just be.
Bates seems to have a pretty good handle on that QB read.
I know
play.
he's powerful in the running game.
2nd down and 5. Left hash. 2 tight ends. Hand off to Jones that time. Wrapped up around the shoulders and brought down for a yard, maybe 2. Brings up 3rd and just a touch less than 4.
Mm-hmm.
Make it 3rd and 3 as they mark it on the 27. Under 8 to play.
Come on now.
Oh, they tried the hard count and they went the other way. Right guard jumped up into the neutral zone there.
It'll be 3rd and 8 now.
That's a senior too in Ross Martin. That'll be 3rd down and 8. That'll ought to change the play call, I would think.
Yeah, definitely.
A couple of receivers. It'll change personnel too. Now you got
they put another receiver out there.
Yeah, Matthews and McMillan split right. It's Matthews in the slot. Barnett split left. Tight end left as well. Here's the snap. Dumped off over the middle. Hit immediately was Barnett. Absolutely nowhere to go once he caught the football. They were prepared for the drag route that time.
I know, but that's a really good, interesting call though. But I think he threw it too early. You have to get him clear the middle, and then you have to look at there and say, hey, is there green grass in front of him or not? If not, you go to your second read.
Clock ticking down towards 7 minutes here in the 4th quarter. There's only been one other time in which teams have gotten back-to-back stops in this game. That was the back-to-back interceptions.
Right. That's pretty.
This is only the second time that the 2 defenses have gotten consecutive stops.
Right.
Tigers will punt it away.
Oh.
Flag down.
That was almost.
A delay of game on Broken Arrow. That's not ideal. That'll move it back inside the 20 to the 17. It would appear it's Hugh Brown, the junior, back to receive the punt, and now he'll walk up into Broken Arrow territory at the 45-yard line. Punt is away. It's a high, wobbly kick. That's in danger zone, but it bounced away from the Bentonville players, taking a Broken Arrow bounce, but just out to the 47-yard line. Where that was about to land, it had a chance to perhaps bounce off of a Bentonville player that was coming back to block. It just bounced the wrong way.
Yeah, this is putting pressure on our defense right now. 6 minutes, they've got good field position. I mean, this is 4-down territory, basically, for them.
It's the first time the Tiger offense has gone 3 and out. 42-39.
That's right.
Here's the thing, though, Spav. It's a 3-point game. If you can at least hold them to a field goal, you're still within striking distance.
And you got plenty of time.
Pistol set. Here's the snap. Nye hands it off. Ficklin running left to the 45. Good tackle in space by Scarborough coming up to make the stop. It's a gain of 2 down to the 45.
We keep losing contain there on the edge there. We do a good job clogging it, but then we give them the bounce out. We're giving them the edges.
Fortunately, Scarborough was able to come up and make a very good tackle in space. Brown will be in the slot. 2 slot receivers right as they've got trips to the wide side of the field. Tight end left, pistol set. Here's the snap. Hand off to Ficklin, straight up the middle. Wrapped up around the ankles and tripped up down at the 40. They give him actually closer to the 39, so it'll bring him 3rd down and a short 2.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is we're not moving the front enough. I think we're where they want us to be.
They did mark that ball back at the 40, so it's 3rd down and 3. Two receivers right, one left. That's Brown split out on the left side. He's been the most dangerous target. Here's the snap. Handoff straight up the middle. Ficklin has first down yardage down to the 36.
Yeah, they're beating us at the line right now. They're creating a new line of scrimmage.
This is where not having a lot of depth on the interior of that defensive line can hurt you because you can be a little gassed at this point of the game.
Well, those big old linemen, they're getting two bodies on one is what they're doing. So basically, if we can't move them, then you can't expect the D-line to make tackles.
First and 10 for Bentonville from the Broken Arrow 36. Bentonville leads by 3. Handoff left side, looked like a hold. There comes the flag as a couple of people go tumbling out of bounds into a bystander. Ooh, hope they're okay. That was a hard hit that whoever that was down there not in pads took. The flag came down right at the point where I think everybody felt like they saw a hold.
On the edge. See, they were holding the edge.
Not particularly penalized game. Broken Arrow
I
has
think it's
8
been
for 49.
pretty well officiated.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That's only the 6th penalty on Bentonville. So, you know, first, I think it's easy, especially first game of the year, that you could throw a whole bunch of flags. But it seems like these guys have let them play, and the egregious stuff they've gotten, and I think it's been very well officiated.
I think so too, because every time we see the flag, we basically have seen the penalty.
Yep. That'll bring up first and 20. Here's a huge opportunity. 4:45 to play.
Oh, yeah.
Down by 3. That puts it back to the Broken Arrow 46.
They're in trips again.
Here's the snap. Fake handoff. Nye wants to throw. He's looking deep. Zips it to the right side. It's caught. He's wrapped up immediately. It's a gain of 11 down to the 35. Decent coverage, but a good route and a good throw.
Well, we did a good job. We're not pressing as much. I mean, we're back playing, and that was nice. So basically what they did is they cleared out and they ran a drag across the middle.
Second down and 9. 2 receivers left. C.J. Brown split right. Eli Brooks, the sophomore tight end, on the right side of the formation. Pistol set. Nye. Hard count doesn't work. Here's the snap. He's rolling to his left, trying to find space. Now zips it over the left side. It's caught. Was he in bounds? Yes, he was at the 20-yard line. Catch made by Q Brown. He's the same guy that caught that last one. Back-to-back catches for him, and he moves the chains for Bentonville with 3:58 to play.
And see, that was first and 20.
And they got it in 2 plays.
And then they get 10. Yeah, 2 plays. But see, we're going to put pressure on them there. And we got caught in the movement.
First and 10 from the Broken Arrow 20. Got to hold him to a field goal. 2 receivers right, 1 left, tight end left. Nye with Ficklin behind him, takes the snap, hands it off. Ficklin left side.
Again.
Steps out of a tackle, then is bumped out of bounds after a gain of 4 down to the 16. At least you wrangled him out of bounds. But it brings up second down and 6. Austin Newell leading the way on the stop. He's been the backup quarterback for the Tigers the last couple of years.
I know.
Stepping into a linebacker role this year.
And doing a good job. Our linebackers are good.
Some late switches here personnel-wise for the Tigers, the Broken Arrow Tigers. Trips right for the Bentonville Tigers. Ficklin behind Nye in the backfield again. Second and 6. Here's the snap. Hand off to Ficklin. Stepping back over the line of scrimmage. He's going to gain a few down around the 13-yard line. Push back. The ball popped free, and the Tigers got it. Oh, but that play was whistled dead before it even started. We're seeing an offsides call from the official here. Or was it? Or did he just have his hand on his microphone?
I'm confused.
He was standing there, hands on hips. Okay. Well, he had his hands on his hips, so I thought he was calling offsides there for a minute. But it's not. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
No, it's 3rd down and oh, it is 3.
From the 13-yard line. Clock, in theory, should be running.
Well, he was winding it down here, so
There's some confusion on the field, and Bentonville has in fact now called a timeout. And official will come over and talk to the Bentonville coaching staff. Just a little confusion.
So
going
what
on there.
happened? The ball went loose. Would they call him down?
I think they called him down before the ball came out, or
forward
progress, one
yeah.
of the two. So a 3rd and 3 coming up from the Broken Arrow 13.
Crucial down. Like you said, we need to give them a field goal. I mean, they'll take a field goal when they're.
The tough part here is,
will they?
You'd like to be able to send pressure, but it's been a tough matchup with C.J. Brown on the perimeter. So can you trust those corners enough to man up and play one-on-one and so you can get some extra pressure in there?
But it seems like when we send pressure, they have more success running the football because we're at different levels. You know, those linemen are blocking that first level, and the backers are coming up, and we're creating our own seams, running lanes.
They'll go 2 tight ends here, one to either side. Pistol set. Ficklin straight behind the quarterback, Nye. Oh, did the Tigers jump off sides? Yes, they did. And that'll be a first down.
I didn't see it.
I wonder if it was the corner on the near side.
Well, that could be. I didn't see that.
That'll make it 1st and goal from the Broken Arrow 8. Now, that's not ideal, but you just got to keep them from getting in the end zone. Field goal doesn't kill you. You got 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Field goal's not the end of the world. Nye moves up to talk to his offensive line. Same formation, pistol set, ace with 2 tight ends. Here's the snap.
Zone.
Hand off to Ficklin. Running right, cuts it back at the middle. Inside the 5, powering his way down towards the 2-yard line. He's brought down there. It'll be 2nd and goal.
That running back finds the hole, doesn't he? He knows how to find that seam. You see him bounce it out and then cut it back up. He knows how to get north and south.
And that one, his upper body seemed to be moving a different direction than his lower body about half the time. It was kind of falling behind.
And that was good defensive play. We had a good defensive stand there. The kid just is a good running back.
Yeah, and they basically handed it off zone right. You forced him to bounce it outside. He was just able to make a good cut. 2nd and goal from the 2. Motion in towards the backfield. They'll move a wide receiver left to right. Still 2 tight ends.
Oh, he's not set.
There's a snap, handoff left side, and he's in untouched for the score.
Oh, keep our emotion. Now, see, we're going to be flagged on that. Golly. Now, I question if the receiver was set, too.
The one that went in motion to the far side?
I question that, but that's okay. I mean, that's out of the picture, though. But we're losing our heads here. You know, actions after adversity.
That's something that'll get coached out over the course of the next week.
You know, this game, I know it's what, 48-39 or.
Yeah, PAT
there's a lot of learning. You get on that film, there's a lot of learning involved in that.
Well, and Spav, we've talked about this each of the 3 years that we've been together. You've got really 3 seasons as the PAT is on its way, and it is good to make it a 10-point game, 49-39. These first 3 games, I mean, you'd like your record to look good, but they really don't matter a whole lot. They're here.
They don't matter at all.
Experiences.
They don't matter at all. But the whole thing is you want to try to win 2 of the 3, but you're going to find out. I've been in these games many times. When I was at Union, I was playing Jinx. We had these 40, 49, 48 games. I know what they're like, and there's not much you can do. It's just both offenses are just really extremely good right now, and the defenses are just average, right now. But, boy, I tell you what, we go in that next week, and we learned a lot about ourselves. We learned who could play, who would stick their tail between their legs, who would come out and really shine. You find that in these games. You find it, and that's the learning process, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to learn a lot from this game.
Now the penalty will move the ball into Tiger territory at the 45 for the kickoff.
And this dude can kick it out of bounds anyway.
This is where my dad and I have long said you should get an extra point if you kick it through the uprights on the kickoff.
I know, you should.
This could be an extra point right here.
Mm-hmm. This should be a punishment for getting a penalty or have a ability to.
I would imagine they'll kick this out the back of the end zone.
Oh, yeah. He didn't have to have a penalty to do that.
Kicks away. And that does, in fact, sail 5 yards out the back of the end zone. And it'll be 1st and 10, Broken Arrow from its own 20. Need a quick strike, down 10 with 2:29 to go.
And, you know, we can score quick.
It's been a little while since the Tigers lost their first game of the year. Didn't happen either of the last 2 years. I can state with confidence. Before that, they certainly didn't in 2018, the state championship year. Here's the snap.
Oh.
Not a lot of space, not a lot of room to work with down the field either to throw the ball.
No,
Owen
we didn't
Jones
have
is
any.
wrapped up.
We didn't have anybody open. I mean, they're playing coverage.
Broken Arrow calls a timeout. That play just did not seem in sync in general.
Especially in the second, our receiver routes.
The timing
our
on that was
receiving
all
routes, I wasn't sure what the thinking was. And
Mhm.
I don't even think Owen had a place to throw it.
No, he,
I mean,
he had
they
pretty
had
much
too
no
many people
options.
back.
I almost wonder if there was a miscommunication because it seemed like the wide receivers almost thought it was a running play.
Yeah.
Because Jones,
they were bunched
Jones
together there in the
stood
middle.
up, looked, and pretty quickly realized, no, there's nothing going on here, and tucked it. Didn't have anything to do with it. 2:21 to play. The Tigers have spent their second timeout.
Well, with the time now, I mean, this is a time where you just can't really run your offense. You got to make some plays here. You got to do something here.
Find somebody in space, find somebody downfield, and see if you can't
And that's a
get lightning to strike.
perfect thing to do is get the ball in space. To an
Barnett
athlete.
not on the field right now. Jones dumps it over the far side, nearly intercepted. Check that. That was Cooper Bates who checked in at quarterback. He was looking for Matthews. Bates will go out. Jones back in. 3rd down and about 15. We'll call it 14 from the 16-yard line. 2:16 to play. 2 receivers to either side. Jones checks over to the sideline.
See, they're just playing coverage. See, it's two men rush, 1 spy.
Launches it up the field, and it is broken up, incomplete. Good coverage. Matthews wanted a flag. He was pretty well pinned to the sideline, so I don't think he was going to get one.
And they had two defenders on him.
Yep. That'll bring up 4th down and 10. Sorry, 4th down and 14. That was not a bad ball. Just the
No.
coverage was too good.
Yeah, and
Let's see if they
because
pin
look
Matthews to the
how
sideline
loose
again.
they are.
Jones looking the other way this time, breaks a tackle, launches it up the far side. It's a jump ball, and it's broken up, incomplete. Matthews couldn't fight his way back to the football. Now was played exactly correctly by that far corner because you really don't want to intercept that ball on 4th down. You want to knock it down.
That's true. That is true.
Basically boxed out the receiver and knocked the ball down.
Right.
49-39, Bentonville leads by 10 and takes over with 2:04 to go. The Tigers have only 1 timeout. If they use it, then I believe, if my quick math here is correct, I still don't think Bentonville would need to get a 1st down. They might, if the Tigers take their timeout, they might have to get one.
God, there was a lot of yardage in this game. That's almost
It was darn near 1,000 yards between the two.
1,000 yards.
Handoff right side, Ficklin over the right side, inside the 5, and he'll go untouched into the end zone. 1:58 to play, and that makes it a 16-point game with the PAT coming. Ficklin has put together a really nice game. 29 carries now for 155 yards, 156 yards, and 3 scores.
you know, their offensive line just slowly wore us down, and you know, the running backs just found their hole. They just a little more just wore us down, just a little better on the running game. They got better as the game went on.
Kick on its way. And it is good. 56-39 the new score with 1:58 to play. One play, 16-yard drive for Bentonville on the score. Well, you'll get to work on a couple more things offensively here.
Yeah. Well, but this is, to me, this is, as a coach, this is what you're going to look at right now. How are we going to respond out there? The game is over. How are we going to go out here in this drive right now, and what are we going to do? Are we just going to quit, or are we going to, you know, make something happen and keep converting? That's where you got to change the thinking of the kids, you know. And
I'm looking over at the and Broken Arrow sideline right now. I'm not seeing a lot of heads down.
No.
Everybody's up on their feet.
I think
nobody looks particularly happy, but
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect them to be in this situation.
And I know Josh is going to come out and do a good job. That's not what I'm really saying that we won't do it. What I'm saying as a coach, you want them to come out this next series and really play hard football. Continue to try. It's just like in any sport, basketball, anything. When you're behind, keep playing hard.
Scarborough drops the ball, but then gets it back across the 15-yard line. Hit hard and knocked sideways at the 18. Yeah, they mark him at the 19. It'll be 1st and 10 from there with 1:51 to go.
Kick and run, can he?
He sure can. Yeah, because that to get out to the 19 after the ball hit the turf to begin with, that's actually a solid return.
Yeah.
We're interested to see who comes out at quarterback here. We have seen both Owen Jones and Cooper Bates, even on the last drive. Both need experience, though, so you'd like the reps for either of them.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be Jones that comes out. Matthews split wide right. McMillan left. Not sure who that is in the slot left side. Dump pass left side. That's caught by Scarborough across the 20-yard line, and he scampers forward out to around the 24.
Okay, hurry up. There you go.
80 Rummins. He's split out wide left. That's McMillan in the slot left side. Same formation. Here's the snap. Jones zips it left. It's caught by Rummins. Makes a man miss out past the 30-yard line and brought down at the 34.
Clock stops.
You know, 80 Rummins is a guy that Coach Blankenship spoke highly of. We haven't called his name a ton tonight, but they seem to be excited about his potential in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you've now had 6 different rushers in this game. And
I know, isn't that crazy?
And 9 different receivers. So clearly there's some weapons on this offense. We had a substitution infraction against the defense, so it's 1st and 5 at the 40 now. Jones dumps it over the middle. It's incomplete. That was in and out of the hands of Zachary Siebert, senior tight end. Two receivers to either side now on 2nd down and 5. 1:07 to play. 56-39 Bentonville on top. Scarborough to the left of Jones. Jones wants to throw. Looking left. Throwing left. Incomplete. A little high. Looks like that one was intended for Joshua Wilhite, who was running some
Kid's
sort of
got a good arm, doesn't he?
15-yard out. Yeah, I mean, he got plenty behind that.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Come on, let's convert this thing. Got a minute left. Convert it.
3rd and 5, Jones throwing left. It is caught.
Nice job.
That's Matthews
Nice
who steps
job.
out around the 48-yard line. And, you know, we talked in that last drive, it was kind of time for Hail Mary time. This you're much more working on your actual offense.
Absolutely.
Here. And we're seeing some decent execution.
Just compete. Keep competing. Very good. This
Good
is
2-minute execution.
Absolutely.
At that. Throwing to the sidelines, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock. That's another 8 yards on that play.
They don't want to give up a big play. Just compete here. Get first downs.
Looking left again. Jones will take a deep shot this time. Matthews got tripped up. incomplete up over his head. Matthews was wanting the flag. Probably not going to get one at this point in the game. 49 seconds to go, unless it's pretty obvious. That one was some incidental, got the feet tied up.
Right.
Third down and 1 for the Tigers. 2 receivers to either side. Matthews replaced for this play. Jones looks left, throws left. It's caught by Wilhite. He's brought down at the 35 of Bentonville. Wilhite will head over to the sideline and get a break. Still same formation. Here's a snap. Jones looking left again. Drops it in there. Caught inside the 20-yard line.
Good job. The young man's running this offense well right now.
Looks like that was Derek Osmond. Reserve tight end gets it inside the red zone. 32 seconds to play. Jones takes the snap. Looking right this time. Firing on the slant. It's incomplete. A lot of contact there, and the flag comes in. That'll be pass interference. Or possibly defensive holding. He was pretty much on him from the get-go right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep, and sure enough is defensive holding. Sometimes I get lucky and sound like I know what I'm talking about.
No, that was great. And we both saw it, and the official made the call. It's
again,
these
they've
officials have done
pretty
a
much
good
let
job.
him play, and the obvious ones they've called. It's I've been very impressed tonight. 27 seconds to go. Tigers now at the Bentonville 9. Dump pass off to the left side. Scarborough, little high step action there. He gets out of bounds around the 2 or 3 yard line. Mark him out at the 2.
This is a good drive. I'm proud of the kids right now. This is really a good drive.
What impressed me about that throw is it was the check down. Don't force it into a tight
exactly.
spot. Throw it, check it down and let your playmaker go make a play. Second and goal from the 2. 21 seconds to go. Jones tripped up. Somehow dumps it off underneath, and it is caught for the score. That's Osmond.
Nice job. What a good drive. I tell you what, Owen did a great job leading this offense all the way down here to score, and this is exactly what I wanted. The game was out of hand. I know that. But this is what you need. This is good taste going into the next game.
Owen Jones just dropping one pass after another in there on those little short passes.
He did a good job.
PAT on its way. It's good.
Yeah.
56-45 the score. Sorry, 56-46 with 17 seconds remaining. And we'll get a look at the onside kick team here more than likely.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, we have almost 600 yards total offense.
Almost 150 more than Bentonville.
Yeah, but Bentonville has 453, and that's insane too.
That's what you might call video game numbers. Tigers had 30 first downs in this game. That is an immense number.
I know, gosh.
Actually, let me look here.
This game is like crazy statistic-wise. You can't put this in the books. I mean,
a big thank you to Skip Hyde for tracking down last year's final stats and sending them to me. Last year, the Tigers averaged just shy of 19 first downs per game. They got 30 in this contest. They were also 41% on third down conversions last year. Tonight, they're 10 for 17, so that's what, 59%, something like that, maybe even a touch above 60%. Somebody who does math better than me can figure that out on the fly.
But, we've ran 93 plays.
That's a ton. That is a ton of plays.
That's a college game.
That's a high-tempo college game at that. Pretty good onside kick, but it's fielded cleanly by Bentonville at its own 47-yard line, and the Tigers will take a knee. 10 for 17, yeah. I was so close, 58.8%. I'll take that. My first guess was 59.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't take moral victories on the football field, but you do get them in math in the broadcast booth. Bentonville will take a knee here momentarily and run out the clock. 56-46 the score. Nye takes the snap, takes the knee. No extracurricular activities, which is what you like to see.
Yeah.
And that will bring the game to an end. Not so much a fan of the final score, but
no, not a fan at all. I know a lot of it was basically us. We shot ourselves in the foot many times.
And that makes that pill a little tougher to swallow, but it also makes it easier to correct when you get to film on Sunday
Absolutely.
and then work through the next week of practice.
And here's a learning process. Let's go. It's such a huge learning game, this is. Because of the score like this, there's a lot of bad things that happen, and there's a lot of teaching that will happen as well. So you'll learn from it.
There will be plenty in the film room on Sunday where you can look and make point to a direct play and say, no, this is what we have to change right here. And often those are the best ones. Let's go down to the sideline. Madison Dildine. Madison.
Coach, obviously not the start that you would have wanted for this season, but how do you learn from tonight?
Oh, we've got a lot to learn from. I thought we showed some inexperience in certain places where we were inexperienced, shot ourselves in the foot way too many times, and obviously we let some, we'd be really close to getting a sack, and then we'd let him slip loose and find a guy running down the field. So we got a lot to work on, a lot to learn from.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach, and thank you, Madison Dildine, down on the sidelines for us.
And, he's absolutely right. I mean, we shot ourselves in the foot, but there's a lot to learn from. There really is. He said exactly what we were talking about. He's going to go in the film room, and they're going to correct these things. And that's what the first 3 good ball games are all about.
Spav, it is exciting, and we'll go back and reference last year's numbers again. Tigers' red zone touchdowns last year were 59%. Opponents were 71. Broken Arrow only scored in the red zone, field goal or touchdown, 76% of the time. They scored all 6 times they entered the red zone tonight, and 5 of them were touchdowns.
Yeah.
Those are improved.
And that's
numbers.
what you want is the touchdowns.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. Oh,
so that's a step in the right direction.
Offensively, I see the improvement, don't you? I mean, from first game last year to first game this year.
And I think you see just an absolute cavalcade of potential weapons in this offense. I mean, you might not have last year it was so centered around R.J. Spears-Jennings and Marion Horn. Because obviously they were elite level talents. They both are playing at Power 5 schools now.
Right.
But you had 6 different guys carry the ball today. All of them carried for at least 37 yards except for Owen Jones due to sacks.
Right.
You had 200-yard rushers in the game, scored 5 touchdowns on the ground. You threw for another one in the air. The only interception was the ball that went through a receiver's hand, so the quarterbacks played a clean game. You had 11 guys catch the football, 23 for 36.
That's unbelievable.
That's so many.
I mean,
23 for 36 between the quarterbacks combined. Cooper Bates was 6 for 7. Owen Jones was 17 for 29, and that got padded a little bit down the stretch there on that last drive. But
I got to give it to you for figuring out all these numbers that are in there. I mean, we get a depth chart, but we don't get that depth chart that we just saw.
Well, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of looking down at the roster, and let's also give some big thanks to Jeremy Bryan, our spotter, and Skip Hyde, who was running stats.
I know.
That was a support system that was necessary this evening. But, you got Kyrie Harris, 7 carries for 112 yards. He averaged 16 yards a pop, scored 3 times. He had a huge night. It's going to be fun to watch him grow over the course of this year.
Yes.
Nate Jones, 17 carries for 105 yards. If you get triple digits on your yardage and you're less than 20 carries, that's an awfully good night.
Yes.
He scored as well. Alan Scarborough scored a touchdown. So that 3-headed running attack, all 3 of them scored.
Very good.
Scarborough had 12 carries for 70 yards too. So that's just a really good all-around run game tonight. You only turned the ball over 1 time. It was a pass that went through the receiver's hands. You forced a turnover, so you're even in the turnover battle.
But it was just a few plays to where we just shot ourselves in the foot, or the snap over the quarterback's head.
Yep.
Little things like that broke our momentum because we were playing well offensively, but then there's just a few things that just affected it.
And you're looking at a lot of guys in the secondary that weren't necessarily starters a year ago. May have played some, but you lost. Marion Horn played a ton of corner last year, and R.J. Spears-Jennings played a ton of safety last year.
That's true.
So you're breaking in some new guys that are working together in with live ammo, so to speak, for the first time. And so there's going to be some miscommunications that will lead to some of those big plays. We saw a few really big pass plays, and that's something that, again, you get in the film room, that can be corrected.
Yeah.
And so
it's like, we're playing a lot of press coverage. It may be where this guy shouldn't be playing press coverage. Play a little looser. There's things you're going to learn along the way, whether you need to or not. A lot of times it's not so much what you would like to do, it's what you can do.
Let's go Let's go down to the sideline one more time, and Madison Dildine, who's still sticking around post-game with us. Madison, what was kind of the vibe that you got down there post-game?
I just think that even in those moments of adversity, the fact that they never lost their composure is going to be really beneficial for this team in the long run, because you're going to face more adversity throughout the season. This is only night one, week one. So to lose tonight's game and then be able to hopefully bounce back next week, that'll be a true test for the Tigers.
And it will be a true test with Union coming to the Tigers' home field next week. Madison, thanks for the coverage tonight, and we'll talk to you here shortly. Madison Dildine on the sidelines for us this evening, and that's one thing that we talked about, Spav, in terms of wanting to keep fighting towards the end. You got a good offensive drive out of that last one, so they kept playing even though the score went against them.
See, I was proud of them for that, because I really thought the first thing we need is just, hey, keep running your offense, do a good job, and don't do something stupid. Don't quit. They did a good job on that.
That all being said, got to find a way to get better, because that Union Redhawks team that's coming in next week, they got a guy that can throw the football, and they got a bunch of guys that can catch it. So you better find a way to. They beat Westmore 57-10 this evening back at Union Tuttle Stadium. So that's going to be a high-powered offense coming in next week, and this defense will have to find a way to regroup and get set and get rolling. Other scores from around the state: Jinx over Santa Fe in a close one, 13-10. Jinx got the win at Santa Fe. And let's see, Muskogee up 2 on Enid late in that contest. Bixby, the big win over Owasso yesterday, 49-14.
Wow.
All right, a couple of quick final numbers for you here. We talked about some of the individual numbers, rushing and passing. Cade Matthews led the way receiving-wise, 4 catches, 82 yards. Joshua Wellhite, 4 for 26. Derek Osmond had the touchdown reception, 2 catches for 18 yards. Caleb Barnett also had 2 catches for 43 yards. Barnett also ran the ball 4 times for 37 yards. So they found some different ways to get the ball in his hands. For Bentonville, Carter Nye, 10 for 18, 271 yards, 5 touchdowns, and an interception, completed 56% of his passes.
Right.
Josh Ficklin, 29 carries for 156 yards and 3 scores. C.J. Brown led the way with 3 catches for 127 yards. All 3 of those were for touchdowns. Luke Kuhn and Josh Ficklin each with touchdown catches as well.
I just thought the quarterback play for them was a lot better.
It was quite good.
I wasn't expecting it.
And
being honest, and I don't.
He didn't make every throw, but what impressed me was his composure in the pocket, because there were a couple of those broken plays that he evaded a guy coming straight at him and then threw it down the field.
Yeah, he made some really good throws, and it just surprised me because what I saw on film, I wasn't expecting it.
Well, appreciate Madison Dildine on the sidelines. Steve Spavital next to me. Terry Sprider, Antonio Hurling, both helping put out fires up here over the course of the evening. We had Jeremy Bryan on spotting for us. We had Skip Hyde on stats. It's a whole operation. The students who were running the cameras as well. So it's just week 1. There's a whole lot more fun to be had over the course of the next couple of months here. We're looking forward to it here on ArrowVision. So we'll talk to you next Friday at home. Broken Arrow taking on Union. That's going to be a really fun atmosphere. Can't wait to bring that one to you as well. So that'll do it for us tonight. Broken Arrow falls to 0-1, 56-46, the final score. Bentonville over Broken Arrow this evening. I'm Adam Hildebrandt saying good night and God bless from Northwest Arkansas.